down. You go to a teacher, it's only going to get worse.
Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. Your leader in sports in the Inland Empire.
The Riverside.
Now, here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Welcome to a Championship Monday on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. That's Jeff Gorham. That's Greg Holla. I'm Pep Fernandez. Right after us, Jeff, it's the NCAA National Championship game, Villanova and Michigan.
It is the best. Everybody talks about the Super Bowl, the National or the World Series, the World Cup. You know what the best sporting event is every single year?
The MLS playoffs.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Hold on. The Australian Open.
Nope.
No?
Nope. I'm going to tell you right now.
I got it. Hold on, one more guess. I got it. Tour de France.
Right up there. Close. That's a close second. But I'll tell you, the national championship game, the March Madness comes to a close. Everybody unites for this month where we're all talking, the conference championships, and then we pick our brackets, and then we all lose except for Pep Fernandez won our pool.
Yeah, I ran away with it. I was a little afraid because you said this brings everyone together. I was hoping it wasn't going to split our inland sports family. Like the Lions were drawn, and I hung my hat on Nova, and some of you guys hung it on Purdue, and Greg down here with Sister Jean went with Loyola to the Elite Eight. I didn't know if this was going to create some cracks within our little inland sports
division?
circle. Yeah.
There was no division. I ended up getting like second to last.
Yeah, you were a real bet.
Smeddy Smedberg got dead last, I believe.
You know what? What I'm going to do real quick, Jeff, is yeah, you guys were excited until after the first round. You know what's funny is I have the brackets in my bag. I'll show them to you. So your wife got out to this hot start, right?
Oh, yeah, she was on fire.
But if you look, because I highlighted all the winners, if you look, she had like all these first-round games that she won. And then after it, they just all disappear, man. It was like you walking out into the Mojave Desert. There's not a drip of water. Like she was just parched. Nothing out there.
Nothing. Yeah, her character, her avatar in the March Madness died a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, you had a good one. But I will say this, Pep, it's so good to be back in the studio with you. It warms my cockles.
It does?
Yeah, my cockles are warm.
What's that?
Your inner being, your inner
inside,
soul, my inner cockles. I'm very, very happy
That's
to be back.
That's a real word, right?
It is, and I really missed you, Pep Fernandez. I was doing a show I was looking at walls, I was sitting in closets, I was sitting by the pool.
I'm in the middle of nowhere.
That was me.
That
was you and me.
It was just difficult because I can't we're talking, we're trying to jab with one another, but I couldn't get your facial reactions.
Oh, it was like, again, I miss being in studio with all you guys. But it was fun out there, but it was a little difficult. I mean, I was sitting there, sipping on some sodas and eating drumstick ice creams, and I'm doing the show, and I'm looking over the golf course and the beach. How big were the seagulls? No seagulls, but there was big blackbirds.
Hello, blackbird.
I was watching them. They were watching me. I was watching them because they were watching me.
Hey, the seagulls, they're just big rats, flying rats. But you know what I was doing? I was sipping gin and juice in my house as I'm watching and
listening to Snoop Dogg.
Trying to get on the Inland Sports Show. No, it was just a weird vibe. I never want to do that again. I never want to be away from you. I don't want. I don't want my.
Are you following me home tonight?
I don't want my cockles cold anymore. I want my cockles warm. And I'll tell you what, I'm happy.
I'm just the guy to do it.
You are just that guy to warm those cockles, Greg. Lukewarm cockles. Lukewarm cockles.
Hey, I have. Okay, so we did the NCAA March Madness brackets in our little inland sports family here.
Yes.
And I have the first round scores from the first night.
Yes.
Okay? So here's what the scores look like after we went through the first set of games. Greg was in front with 16. Kono was tied for second.
Wow!
My daughter Alana and Jeff all had 14. Followed by old Smeddy Smed with 13. Tara had 13. Cullen and I were tied for last with 12.
Dead last.
And you all laughed in my face. I deserve a big apology from everyone in this room because as it currently stands, I have 65 points. Nobody will touch me. I've got If Villanova wins it tonight, it will be a landslide. It will be a blowout win.
Hey, nobody is picking Michigan. Nobody. But I am. Are you picking Michigan? You better. That's your team.
I know. My heart says pick Michigan, but my bracket
says
Villanova. I picked Villanova to go all the way.
Does it matter now because you've already won?
No, it doesn't matter now. I already won.
You got to want Michigan.
The only two people that pick the winner or have a winner in the championship game, Kono and I. We both have Villanova. Nobody had Michigan.
Yeah, Kono came out of nowhere. He didn't finish dead last.
He rallied hard. He did. He rallied hard at the end.
did.
Your wife finished dead last.
Smeddy Smedberg, yeah.
She fell off a cliff. I mean, again, I'm going to pull the brackets out in the break. You can see I took my purple highlighter, which Jeff thinks it's blue, and I highlighted all the winners. And you look at those first-round games, and she was on fire. And then go to the second round, to the Sweet 16, to the Elite Eight, and she was just dropping teams right and left.
That's okay. She's sleeping in the doghouse. Our divorce is pending based on the brackets.
You guys go hard on those brackets.
Yeah, we're splitting up because of brackets. Hey, but I'm excited though. This is one of those nights where the wifey and I sit down and we watch the game together. Man, the last few years, it's been phenomenal endings. Better than any sporting event in the world. They had even the girls, the women's.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame comes out of nowhere. They were dead in the water to UConn the other day and came back and won it. Girls basketball.
So the men tonight, and that game you can listen to right here on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM right after Jeff and I. In fact, we're like the official, unofficial pregame show
for the
national championship game, Jeff.
Look at us. Yeah, the big wigs at Fox say, hey, you know what? We're not going to do a 2.5 hour pregame.
They said, hey, listen, at 4:30, you guys are going to go off the air, and we're going to go to the national championship pregame show up till tip-off, which is what, 6:20 p.m.?
6:20 p.m.
And they said, no, Pep and Jeff, you're going to take us straight to 6 o'clock. Talk basketball, live it up, have some fun on Fox Sports IE. So that's exactly what we're going to do.
Oh, yeah. It's a party in here, buddy. We're going to have pizzas delivered. I wish the round table would deliver. Oh, that'd be great.
Man, that'd be a party.
It would be a party.
Or Greg's, what was it, the pulled pork or with the brisket? Or what was that? The barbecue pizza?
Pulled pork pizza was really good.
What was I doing right here? Is that the international sign for pizza?
Either that or you were given a check, a doctor's check.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
You were
Turn your head and cough.
You were,
I was like, what was that pizza?
Hey, what is that?
What was that? Was that pulled pork?
Hey, you might there might be a lump in there. That's what it looked like you were doing. Lumpy.
Just lump off the fat. It's good pulled pork.
There we go.
Just tear it apart.
Lumpy.
So it's Michigan against Villanova. Villanova beat Kansas 95-79. The Wildcats hit 18 3-pointers, Jeff, in that game. That's a tournament record. That was unbelievable. Villanova looking like a #1 seed. But this is a Michigan team, and we'll revisit this throughout the show, that you saw with your own eyeballs in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
I called a game in Michigan.
Are they the hottest team right now in the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, they've won 14 in a row. They got Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner's the best player as of late. First 2 games of the tournament, he wasn't very good, but he's come on strong.
So don't you dare say Wagner.
Wagner.
I
learned that because I was the play-by-play and color of my own.
You called the game.
I did call that game. It was really fun.
I'm so bummed I missed that one.
See,
why did I miss that one? We still had high school football going on.
Yeah, you were doing some show. But yeah, they told, I'm going to tell my grandkids, and my grandkids are going to tell their grandkids that, Grandpa and great-grandpa called a game in Michigan the year they won the national championship.
Oh, you're calling your shot already. The one that they won the title.
Yeah.
So when you called the game between Michigan and UC Riverside the Sunday after Thanksgiving, did you have any idea that you were looking at a potential national champion in front of you?
I thought they were really good, but I didn't think national championship. I will say this, though. I saw Mo Wagner and the guys, Mo Wagner. Did I ever tell you the story where the guys broke in while we were there in the practice facility?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody broke into the practice facility.
At
Michigan, right before kickoff of the Ohio State-Michigan game. Should I save this for a little later? Because this is
good. Go for it.
Okay, so we're at the shoot-around in the greatest practice facility I've ever seen. Millions of dollars had to be put into this facility. And 2 guys snuck in. And I want to say that I know who let them in the door.
You do?
I do. It was one of our guys let these 2 guys in because we didn't know. We thought they were Michigan guys.
You're tourists. You're from out of town.
Somebody in our entourage let them in. Well, they ended up going through the locker room and stealing a bunch of
stuff. Mo Wagner stuff?
Mo Wagner and all those guys. So all of a sudden, we heard a ruckus, a screaming. And these 2 dudes stole a bunch of stuff out of the locker room, and all the players and coaches jumped on these 2 guys. And we thought Justin Bell at the time was going to have to take the guy out. I was standing right next to Coach Bell, and we're like, he's coming our way. These kids,
You're
they
going
were
to jump on them.
Yeah, they were kids though. They were college, college co-eds. I was going to just straight arm them as they ran by me, drop them like a sack of potatoes.
That's right.
But no, Mo Wagner, I got to see him up close. He was sticking his tongue out just like he was, yelling at these guys. I'm like, oh, that's a big guy. They said, that's Mo Wagner.
Mo Wagner.
Mo Wagner.
It's like the Nowitzki, the W in Nowitzki, right? Wagner, Nowitzki.
See, and my mother's maiden name, it was
Nowitzki?
No.
Wagner?
No. Wiesner. It's Wiesner.
Wiesner?
Yeah, with a W. Wiesner.
Wiesner.
Wiesner. Yeah, German Jews. That's an oxymoron, but yeah, I'm a German Jew.
Wiesner.
Wiesner. You're a Mexican Jew.
Mexican Jew?
I'm a German Jew.
True.
Hey, Mazel tov.
It was sad to see Loyola's run come to an end.
Yes.
Losing to Michigan, 69-57. We were at the county clash in San Bernardino on Saturday.
Were they clashing? Was there a clash?
Oh, they were clashing all over the place. But we had the game on. We had the big luxury suite. Shout out to the Inland Empire 66ers. They gave us the entire hospitality suite, which included air conditioning and a big TV with the game on. And I was looking up there, and I'm like, oh, man, Michigan's down like double digits. So we go, and we do a couple innings of baseball, and I look back up there. Like, wait, Michigan's like a couple minutes away from winning. What happened? Wolverines came back.
Took over. They were down 7 at halftime, and it was the Mo Wagner show. He had 15 rebounds, 26 points. The guy was on fire.
Is he a first-round NBA pick?
He is a top 5.
Top 5 pick?
I would say he's top 5 because he's 6'10" and can stretch the floor. The guy can shoot three. He's got a beautiful shot. Plus, he's kind of a jerk.
Is he?
Yeah, he's got. I mean, I don't think.
But
he's
he
a
stepped
jerk.
on onions. Bill Raftery's glasses, and he apologized.
Crushed. No, I mean, he just comes off. He plays with a certain amount of arrogance, which great players have. He's one of those guys. I think he's going to be a very, very good pro. One of those guys. He is a Dirk Nowitzki type player. I think he could be as good as Dirk Nowitzki, and that's saying a lot because Dirk Nowitzki is a scoring machine. Had a great career.
And the Wolverines open up man-to-man. Right? A little kiss off the glass.
A little kiss off the glass.
Onions. That's Bill Raftery, man. He's the best.
Let's tell everybody that we would do that occasionally on the UCR broadcast.
Onions. A little man-to-man.
People need to listen more to the UCR broadcast.
Oh, we had such a fun time.
Good time. Next year is going to be great.
My 2 goals were A, to either keep Jeff awake,
yeah,
or B, make him laugh. We like be in the middle of a game, start giggling over like stupid little silly things.
Hey, there's some big games next year. We can't really say who they are.
Is there some big games?
Oh, giant
Have you seen
games.
the schedule?
I've heard stories. I've heard stories. Well, they played Michigan last year or this year, and that was a pretty good team.
Well, yeah, they're in the national title game.
There's going to be at least 3
Duke,
Michigan type games.
North Carolina,
that could happen.
Kentucky.
That could happen too. So just know.
Just know
that, yes, there's going to be a big time schedule.
I've heard some stories.
A couple stories here and there.
Pride myself on being a smart guy.
Smart. Always. They're going to have a couple big games next year. They have to. There's reasons, but they have to.
Really?
Yes, they have to.
Jeff, what are you doing over here?
That's behind
Hinting
the scenes.
At so many things.
That's behind the scenes. Just know this: there'll be 3 games that are going to be as big as the Michigan game this year.
Big as Michigan?
Yes. Has to be.
Has to be?
Must be.
Must. All right, we'll talk more NCAA tournament national title game, which you can hear right here on Fox Sports IE. Also, a lot of baseball coming your way. The Dodgers, the first 2 games of the series, they lost 1-0. They lost 1-0. And
Don't panic.
Hey, Dodger fans were panicking, though.
You know why?
Why?
Wait. Bandwagon Dodgers fans.
No.
I wasn't panicking.
You didn't get my pun? Don't panic.
I pride myself on being a smart guy.
There you go. God, it's nice to be back in here.
Because when you look at the whole series, that's right. The whole 4-game series, Joe Panik's 2 solo home runs, the only runs for the Giants.
Hey, the only time in history that they've had back-to-back games winning 1-0 with somebody hitting the same home run.
A bizarre start to the season.
Yes.
But the Dodgers bounced back. They won the next 2 games by shutouts. I think it was like 14-0 combined score in the next 2 games on Saturday and Sunday.
That was a highlight of their yearbook for this year for the Giants.
That was it. It's all downhill for the Giants. It's all downhill.
I got McCutcheon. They're pretty good. I'm not.
No.
Look at Greg, man, calling out the Giants. Battery chuckers.
Man, chuckers. Beer chuckers, battery chuckers.
So Dodger fans, don't panic. They're back. They split the series. They took 2 from the Giants in decisive fashion. When you look at the whole series, they dominated. If you only allow 2 earned runs, 2 solo home runs in a 4-game series, pretty impressive. I mean, things escalated quickly on Saturday.
Yes, they did.
And then for the Halos, how about Showtime?
Love that
You
guy.
watched it on Easter a little bit. I watched it on Easter a little bit. Shohei Ohtani made his major league debut on the mound outside of a 3-run homer to the A's. He looked pretty good, Jeff, and he got the win.
Ah, man, his learning curve is so big right now still, but yet people were complaining. He's going to be just fine. We were talking. I said, man, as soon as he was done, I texted you and said, Ohtani's going to be fine.
Yeah. I compare it to like when the major league stars come down to rehab in the minor leagues and they don't really look terribly sharp and people get worried and then they go back up to the major leagues and they're just fine. When Shohei Ohtani was in spring training, I'm like, please don't use that as a gauge of how he might be at the major league level.
They didn't play him very much. They really didn't. And everybody was like, oh, his ERA was 27. Do you realize how many times that guy pitched, simulated games? It wasn't like he was just out there pitching a couple innings. He threw several simulated games.
A lot of stuff behind the scenes.
Oh, he knows what's going on. They were working on things.
Yeah, he was great. Went 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. He did give up that 1 3-run homer, but the Halos still won 7-4. So Shohei Ohtani off and running for the Halos, who actually open up their home. They play their home opener tonight against the Indians. So we'll be talking about more later in the show about the Dodgers, the Halos, and of course the NCAA title game. It's all brought to you by our friends at Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. You'll be spoiled by great customer service and low prices. It's Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Kin Sporting Goods. For the last 4 decades plus, they've been providing you and all your friends with your sporting gear and Letterman's jackets. I know if you're a big high school sports star, you got to have a Letterman's jacket. Go to Kin's and they'll hook it all the way up with all those cool patches that you got for your all-league, all-CIF, all-around good guy. Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. Make sure you follow them on Instagram and Twitter. And that strength and speed class is second to none. And that first one's always free, too, when you mention Jeff Gorham at the door. That's true. That's not a joke. People probably think we're joking around. No, that's true. If you say Jeff Gorham at Boost Performance Training, they'll either give you a weird look or a sweet discount.
A discount. They might even give you a balloon.
A balloon animal. And Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road, where you can buy, trade, finance, all in the same spot. So easy, so smooth. No headaches. Make that car shopping experience the best. The best, Jerry. All right, Jeff. I was trying to make Jeff laugh over here. When we come back, did the Lakers play last night? Did they?
Not really.
Anybody know?
They scrimmaged.
Oh, they scrimmaged? Okay, we'll talk Lakers, Clippers, and the latest on Kawhi Leonard. He left the Spurs again. He's in New York City watching Broadway. Broadway plays. I don't know if that's true. It might be true. We'll be back. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
If you don't say you love the Dodgers, you might not get into heaven.
We think it would be very prudent.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajelco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Truffle shuffle. Come on! Do it! Come on! Do it!
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Welcome back to the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM, your official pregame show of the NCAA National Championship game. Michigan and Villanova coming up at 6 o'clock right after us. Hey, does this ring a bell? Hey, it's your boy Holla.
Yeah.
Use your desk and pen to write my report. Hope you have a great day. Remember to keep that fish marinated. Holla. You got one, Jeff?
I got one, too.
All right, go ahead. These are Post-it notes we found from Greg Holla. Go ahead.
Yo,
Jeff.
hey, Philo. What up? What it do, baby girl? Just got back from Hammett.
What?
It was wet and cold. I wish you were there to keep me warm.
Yes.
You look very sweet yesterday. Tell Larry I'm jealous.
Yes.
Holla!
You know, this was like 5 years ago. Just to let everybody know, my boss came in with these post sticks that I posted.
Post-it love letters, right?
Letters to a special individual that used to work here.
Can I say your name? Can we say your name?
Yeah, Felicia.
Felicia, what's up, Felicia?
Oh, Felicia.
Well, she don't work here no more, but I had a little crush on her, and I'd leave little post sticks whenever I was working. So those were Holla from 5 years ago. I advanced more, and
You matured.
Hey there, stranger.
And fish being marinated. If you don't know what that is, then you better go look that up.
Hey there, stranger. I really miss you. Oh, hope you're having a wonderful day. Maybe I'll see you later.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. Greg.
Bye, Felicia.
I'm a man with a lot of words.
I'm sorry, man. We came in here. Yeah,
good.
Our boy.
The best. Give me one of those. Give me one. Let me read one.
Wait, but see, they're not all from Greg though.
They're all from different people. She was very popular.
Here, why don't you dig through these, Jeff?
There's no more funnier.
It's kind of like moving day around here at Fox Sports and here at the iHeart family. People moving around.
I had a little crush on her.
Like
I'm not gonna lie.
Spring cleaning.
Just a reminder: quit and cancel your gym membership.
That ain't me.
Love, your very personal trainer.
That wasn't me for sure. That wasn't me.
Will you marry me?
That wasn't me either. I'm putting on a ring.
Wait. I don't know if I can read all these.
Yeah, this is like a gold mine. What? It's like 5 years old, Greg?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Hey,
find
looks like
Greg's post-it note love letters.
This was in 07.
Yes, that's how long this was.
Wow, that looks like my writing almost. I don't even know Felicia.
It was you.
Felicia was a popular item.
God, yeah, she's really.
Here.
I mean, holy smokes.
I mean, she got four. What is it? Four from me?
There's one from a girl.
There's one.
There's a couple from a girl.
I got two at least from Greg Holla right
Yeah,
here.
you know.
Oh yeah, she was very friendly with the ladies too.
Yeah, you know.
She sounded like she was.
Can you read anything, Jeff, or is
No,
it?
No, it's not as
safe?
it's not as mine. Mine are a little bit more poetic.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Jeff
there's no
Jeff
way.
got the best one about cold out there in Hemet. Hope to see you soon. Fry that fish or whatever he said.
Marinate that fish.
Marinate that fish.
Yeah, they're not. Just Holler, Love, Starbucks Runner. That's the only one I got left.
Oh, that wasn't me. I don't spell hollow that
He
way.
doesn't say holler. He doesn't say Greg Holler.
That's not me. I ain't going on no
It's not
Starbucks.
Greg Holler.
Holler, like a holler down in the woods, man, by the
It
creek
ain't
or a
like
fish.
Old Yeller.
Yeah.
I'm
Holla.
gonna put you down, old Holla. I'm gonna put you down. I'm gonna put a.
You know, I didn't like that movie. You know why?
Why?
The dog did his job. He protected the family, and what happened at the end?
Get a bullet.
Exactly. So that's a life lesson. He protected the family, and he still got the end of the stick.
Wait a second here. I'm protecting my family. I'm getting long in the tooth. They're gonna shoot me.
Hey,
he's gonna shoot me.
You know, it should be worth noting that Greg Holla did put like little smiley faces
Exactly,
on
that's
the
my
post-it
MO.
notes.
All right.
It's your boy, Holla.
You know,
I used your desk and pen.
The one that got away, but it's all good.
Hope you have a great day.
Hey,
Hopefully I'll see you soon.
I was a man of words. I still am, but
You're a wordsmith.
exactly. That should be on a Hallmark card. Marinate that fish.
I think off the air I have to ask you what does that really mean? 'cause
If you don't know, now you know.
Oh man. Straight to the Hallmark cards.
Wow,
Remember like who was it, Mr. Deeds? Remember Adam Sandler, Mr. Deeds wrote all the Hallmark cards?
Yeah.
I think he's got a challenger here. I think Greg Holla's got a future.
look
in
at
the
that.
Hallmark cards. What's up, stranger? It's your boy. I used your pen to write my report. Marinate that fish. Holla. Happy Valentine's
I sure
Day.
missed you guys. God, I was so lonely. I was so lonely.
I missed you guys, but it was nice having those drumsticks and the ice cream behind the scenes during the show. That was kind of nice.
Oh man, it was terrible. I had kids. I had to put kids. I'm going to tell you. I have to say this real fast. Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? There was a time where I was at my house and I had my kids, and they're one.
Oh, you were stressed out. Serious Jeff was out and about, walking around.
Because there was a time where I was going to have to be there with the kids with nobody, and it was during the show. So what I did was I fed them Benadryl. No, I didn't. No, I kept them awake as long as I could because I was off. I just kept them awake all day long.
No naps.
No naps.
No naps.
And they were struggling. In fact, baby Luke was going sleep. I said nope. No sleep. No sleep.
Stay awake.
Stay awake. So I got him to sleep, and I had the monitor next to me, and I was just worried that baby Zeke was just going to go crazy. And I was like, oh, my gosh, yes. I was stressed, but everything worked out well. The Benadryl kicked in. They slept for like 37 straight hours. It was a good time.
2 days.
2 days straight.
Roll Rip Van Winkle, right?
Yep.
The best babysitter, Benadryl.
Benadryl. I had somebody. I have
in the 80s, that was the, before YouTube, before like video games and all that, these kids got babysitters. It was Benadryl. I was a kid of Benadryl.
I have a sister-in-law that has a crazy beagle. Yeah, a crazy beagle dog.
Yes.
So we were over there, I think it was last year at Easter. Yeah, it was a year ago. I'm like, what's wrong with your dog over there? Why is your dog is your dog alive? Oh, it just had some Benadryl. We just had to, because if it didn't have the Benadryl, it would have attacked
nuts.
Would have eaten all the eggs. It would attack the children.
You can give dogs Benadryl?
Yeah, apparently they did.
They did.
Like, my sister-in-law, I'm like, hey, what's wrong with your dog? Oh, nothing. She's sleeping.
Sleeping it off.
Sleeping off a Benadryl. A Benadryl bender. Yeah, the dog. Yeah, the dog was out like a light. I could have gone over and flicked it in his nose. It wouldn't have known.
All right, back to sports, everyone. It's been fun. The Lakers played last night.
No, they didn't.
Kings won. Kings won 84-83. I'm going to spare you guys. I'm not going to gloat. Not going to live it up. As a Sacramento fan, those are the games you're supposed to win. We did, and now we're going to move on. Right? Are we good? 84-83. Kings win.
Yeah. Well, what's their overall record?
I don't know. I'll have to check.
Yeah,
it's probably really good.
Not very good.
It's probably right on the cusp of the playoffs.
Yeah, Lakers, though, finishing out their season with all these young cats. Everybody else is hurt. Isaiah Thomas is gone forever.
Yeah. Lonzo Ball play last night?
No, I don't care.
I don't think he played last night.
I don't care anymore. I don't care
Kings
about Lonzo Ball.
But if you're a local basketball fan down here in the IE, Southern California, keep an eye on the Clippers. They're still in the hunt. I don't think they're going to get to the playoffs. It's going to be really close. There's a couple games that they left out there that they should have won. It's going to come down to the wire. They've only got 5 to go. They lost to Indiana last night, 111-104. Jeff, with 5 games to play, they're 2 games back of New Orleans. I don't think it looks good for them. I think they need too much help. Even if they won out, I don't know if it would be enough.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I think they're done. I think they're going to fire their coach. They're going to start over new. They're going to get new guys.
You really think they're going to get rid of Doc Rivers?
I bet they get rid of him the week after season's over.
So like in the NFL, they have Black Monday.
Yes.
So like the season ends Sunday, and then boom, Monday, 5 or 6 NFL head coaches get axed. You're thinking as soon as the NBA season's over, assuming the Clippers don't make the playoffs, Doc Rivers is out.
Doc Rivers is gone.
But who do you replace him with? That's my thing. You have to have somebody else.
Anyone.
Jeff Gorham.
Yeah, let me coach some Clippers. No, I think they just need something new. You brought in Jerry West to do exactly that, is to change the entire scope of the franchise. Think about it. He was the president, general manager, and coach. Doc Rivers was last year. He was stripped of both of those titles. Now he's just a head coach. I honestly think that they're done with him. I think they're going to part ways. I think we've had enough of Austin Rivers. I think we've had enough of his dad. And the nepotism is run rampant in Clipperland. I think they're done.
Well, the Clippers are going to play the Spurs on Tuesday, and that's a must-win game for the Clippers as they try to make this final push for the playoffs. The Spurs, I don't think they're going to have Kawhi Leonard because Kawhi Leonard is back in New York hanging out. And a couple things on this, Jeff. So Tony Parker, you said this when Kawhi Leonard first had that quad injury. You said, hey, that's the same thing that Tony Parker had, and it took him forever to get back. Do you remember you saying that?
Yeah, I mean, it's the exact same injury. The reason I knew it was the same injury is that, early during the summer they said it was very rare to have that injury with one guy, Tony Parker, but two on the same team. They said no one in the league last year had that injury. Nobody.
Kind of bizarre, right?
So they thought maybe they were doing the same training, with the Spurs. Maybe that caused the same issue, the same injury. But I don't know what to think anymore because it has been just a goof fest down there in San Antonio.
Well, Tony Parker came out and said basically the effect of, well, my quad injury was 100 times worse than Kawhi's. Why is he not out here? And then here's what Popovich said. And this, again, this is all bizarre. It's all weird. It just gets weirder by the day. He said, quote, I don't know when talking about Kawhi, when he and his group are going to feel like they're ready to go. If I knew he'd be here, and when his group feels he's ready, then he'll be here. Then he went on to say, well, that's the end of that quote. But basically, he's just saying that it's up to Kawhi's group to decide when he's going to feel ready. And if Pop knew when Kawhi was going to be ready, then he would be there already, ready to play, because the Spurs have said you're ready to play. Kawhi's group is saying he's not ready to play. We all assumed that. We all knew that. But we thought maybe there was some hope because he had rejoined the team. Remember, he was hanging out with the team. He was around the facility. He was rehabbing with them. But he's left the Spurs once again. He's back in New York doing his own thing with what Coach Popovich is calling his group, Kawhi's little inner circle, his own group in New York City, rehabbing once again. He's not going to play the rest of this year. He's done.
No, and he's doing it under the guise of, or the disguise or guise of the National NBA Players Union. They have a facility in New York City where he's working under, which kind of protects him as far as anybody trying to watch him work out or anything. That protects him under their Players Union, so they really can't question whether or not if he's working out, how he's working out, what he's doing, vice versa. But when you have veteran guys, you have Ginobili, Tony Parker, both have come out and basically said the same thing. You need to play. Those guys are retiring. It looks like there's dissension. Looks like there might be some fractured relationships in that locker room in San Antonio.
So Kawhi Leonard signed through next season, and then he has a player option, which it sounds like he's not going to exercise that if he's still around. I think there's still a great chance San Antonio unloads him in a trade somewhere before he finishes out his final year with the Spurs.
Well, the ideal situation would be for him to come back to Southern California. I think, I don't know, I can't speak for him and his family who represent him, but, the Lakers could, or the Spurs could sign and trade for, Julius Randle and maybe some money, or maybe get rid of that dang Luol Deng contract.
Dang.
If you get rid of that Luol Deng contract, there's an opportunity for the Lakers to get 3 max deals, which would be incredible. Kawhi being one of those.
Man, Lakers would be really good.
They could be very good next year. I think they will be. I mean, we've talked about it all season long. Even if LeBron James doesn't come, I think the Lakers do have some hope in the next couple of years to be something special.
All right, we come back here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. We are going to recap the county clash, and we have our Marines Recruiting Station Riverside Athlete of the Week to announce. It's the biggest award, the most prestigious in the IE, and we do it every single week right here on the Inland Sports Show. We will be right back. It's Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Your mama sure does.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I'd say that's my passion because I've done it. I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and help them reach their athletic potential, help them, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then You know, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, you know, in terms of speed, power, you know, strength, agility.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
Welcome back to the one and only Inland Sports Show. Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Is that Jay-Z?
Yeah.
Was that from the movie Annie?
Yes, that's what I was
Wasn't it?
thinking. I didn't know it was Jay-Z. I just thought I thought we were doing Broadway tunes. Because you talk about New York City.
That's where Kawhi's hanging out.
He's
That's
hanging
a Broadway
out
place.
watching Cats.
He's back in New York.
Yeah, hanging out.
He's not watching Cats.
Oh,
Come on,
yeah.
Give him a little credit.
He's watching all the big heavies of Dogs. The sequel to Cats.
Dogs.
Have you ever seen Cats?
Come on, man.
What is
no,
wrong?
I haven't seen Cats. Have you seen Cats?
Of course I am. I'm in touch with my Hey, I can cry. I can laugh.
I think the only
I'm in touch
play
with my
I've
feminine
seen,
side, my friend. I can hug.
Hey, the ones you've seen too, Aladdin and Frozen at Disneyland.
I've
You haven't seen Frozen?
No, I told you I've never seen Frozen.
You don't have girls.
Man, you are missing out.
I've
I know
never-
I know all the words.
Well, Connor and the boys all know the words, except for my 1-year-old. He's gonna be in a bubble. I'm not gonna let anybody get near him. I'm not letting my wife get near him. It's Luke and I are gonna be simpatico.
See?
Yeah, no way. I'm not teaching him any of the Frozen stuff. I was supposed to see Frozen at Disneyland, the play, and I missed it. So I'm not.
It's
sad.
actually it's good.
Stop it.
I love all the songs. I get into it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm in touch with my feminine side. You, on the other hand, are feminine.
Oh man, I watch lots of Princess. I know all the Princess shows. I know all of them by name.
Do you watch? There's like a one that's on the Disney Channel right now. My son always wants to watch.
Which one?
Avalor, or what is it? Elena of Avalor.
Yeah.
See, Brian Weathers is in here, and he knows. He's got a daughter, and they watch all these goofy.
I told you, I
Disney
came home the other day, and my wife's like, I got some good movies on Netflix. Or no, on Redbox for the family. I'm like, what'd you get? Oh, the new My Little Pony and something about mermaids. I'm
You're
like, I'm out. That's it.
Hey, we only show Rambo movies, Predator movies
Predator,
in our house. Yeah, there's no mamby-pamby.
And Star Wars,
and
right?
Star Wars. Yeah, that's the stuff we have.
Well, welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Real quick recap of the county clash we had over the weekend at San Manuel Stadium in San Bernardino. Jeff, we got to see Corona. They took on Northview, and of course, Corona won 6-0. Corona is one of the top-ranked teams once again in Division I. The last time we saw them was in the championship game at Dodger Stadium last June.
I remember this.
Here, and it gets better. So remember, Corona had a young, scrappy freshman named Rumple Snakeskin III.
Yes.
Remember old Rumple?
Yes.
Real gamer. I mean, undersized, but a real gamer.
Very, very sneaky.
So old Rumple Snakeskin III, unfortunately, he was injured. He was, as a sophomore, he was not at the county clash for Corona this past weekend. But I was told they gave him the number 3 of the great Brendan Beck. Remember Brendan Beck? The younger brother of Tristan Beck, who played the saxophone in our studio. He's the ace for the Stanford Cardinal.
And, the guy that played the trumpet.
His brother, Brendan, who's also at Stanford.
And a dear cousin of Beck.
2 turntables.
2 turntables and a microphone.
So now Rumple Snakeskin III is wearing number 3 in honor of Brendan Beck, but he was not at the county clash. But again, a real gamer. Remember they had a big sign at Dodger Stadium in the championship game. I took a picture of it. Yeah, it said, what was it, like wishing all the best and speedy recovery to Rumple Snakeskin III. Amazing.
Yeah.
So he wasn't there, but guess who was?
I don't know. Tell me.
Old Billy Cheeseblower.
Oh, he can throw some cheese.
William Quesadilla. That's real. That's a real guy.
That's the real last name?
Well, his name is Hunter Collins.
Oh, yeah, he's a real guy. Billy Cheeseblower. Yeah,
no, hold on.
His real name's Hunter Collins.
Bill Cheese.
Bill
Cheese. His real name's Hunter Collins, but everyone calls him Billy Cheeseblower because he throws some real high cheddar, like the real stinky stuff. Like he can bring some fastballs.
You have been hanging out with some baseball games. I just heard you just throw out 3 different baseball terms.
Oh, lots of. I love baseball.
Oh, yeah, there's stinky.
I love it. I get real
cheddar.
deep. Real high stinky stuff, man. Like the real aged old white cheddar. Yeah. So Bill Cheese was out there. Billy Cheeseblower. He got the win for the Corona Panthers out there as they beat Northview 6-0. Couple of other games at the county clash. Redlands over Cajon 7-2. Redlands looks really good. They might win the Citrus Belt League this year. They got a real star player in Joseph Schubert, who is a pitcher, and then Brian Landon, who's trying to play in our Inland Sports All-Star basketball game, but he's going to Fullerton on a baseball scholarship. We're trying to get Brian into the game.
I'm going to call the coach at Cal State Fullerton, who I met last year at the...
Oh, you know him.
I know him. I have a picture.
What are you waiting for?
We had a couple lovely adult beverages together and talked some baseball, and his daughter is one of the cheerleaders at Cal State Fullerton.
Work your magic. We need Brian Landon. He's the All-American.
Everyone's All-American.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Good at football, good at basketball, good at baseball.
Great at everything.
Just had really bad hair, but he's good at everything.
He's got bad hair?
He had braids.
Yeah, he's not playing
Remember his
in our
dad?
game.
Remember I was going to cut his hair in the
that's
studio.
right.
I was going to cut his hair.
Does he still have braids?
No, he had to
Good.
cut it off.
Good.
Estevan Valencia, the skipper out there at RHS, said you can't play for the Terriers unless you cut your hair.
Good for him.
Cut it off, all of it.
I don't want a guy looking like the Predator playing in our basketball game.
It was pretty ugly.
It's crazy.
Carter beat Miller 11-2. Big win for the Carter Lions. And Redlands East Valley outlasted Citrus Valley 4-1 in 8 innings. All that going down at the county clash. One more game to get to. And that also leads us to our Marines Recruiting Station Riverside Athlete of the Week. It's Arroyo Valley slugger Larry Ponce. And Larry Ponce had the walk-off game-winning hit for Arroyo Valley against Norte Vista, 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth. That's the second time this season that Larry Ponce has had a game-winning hit.
Ponzon pelota.
And he also had the game-tying RBI sac fly in the bottom of the seventh.
He did?
He did.
And that's why he's our Recruiting Station Athlete of the Week.
Larry Ponce.
Ponce.
Yeah, I said during the game, he's built like a center in a football team, but he runs like a DB. This guy's nimble. And he can swing a bat.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick.
So
Larry Ponce can jump over a stick.
Congratulations to our Marines Recruiting Station Riverside Athlete of the Week. It's Arroyo Valley baseball star Larry Ponce, his second walk-off hit of the season. You ready to take a break?
I want to know who they beat.
They beat Novi.
They beat old
do you want
Klugers.
Do you want a Novi story?
Yeah, I want a Novi
You want a Novi
story?
story? So after the game, we sent intern Colin, who's like probably the nicest guy on the planet, like probably the nicest genuine guy I know.
He's like a good Mormon.
Come over and
He reminds me of not Mormon.
I know,
yeah.
but doesn't he remind you of those? Doesn't he remind you of like one of those guys that's just like the perfect guy?
He's
how you
perfect.
doing?
He doesn't have a bad bone in his body.
Can I mow your lawn?
Yeah. Super good kid. So we sent him down to get post-game interviews. Yeah? And your boy, the old Klug dog, Jason Klug, the head coach at Norte Vista, is like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to do an interview.
Really?
Your boy, the Klug dog.
This is high school baseball, Jason Klug.
High school baseball.
Pull your head out.
It's not Game 7. Hey. You think Dave Roberts avoided the cameras after the Dodgers dropped Game 7 of the World Series?
No.
No.
Oh, you Klugers.
Klug dog.
Klug dog.
Didn't want to talk to the Inland Sports Show.
I'm going to come after you when I see you. I'm going to see you next Monday morning. I'm going to wait in front of your locker. And I'm going to punch
you. With a microphone.
I'm going to
send you with a mic.
I'm going to interview him. And if he doesn't interview me, I'm going to punch him right in the neck.
I'm going to send you with an Inland Sports microphone. You wait
Do it.
for him.
I'm going to say,
like,
can I interview you now, Klugers?
Yes.
I'm going to get him. And if he does, like I said, if he doesn't like it, I'm going to punch him in the neck. Square, straight in the neck.
You're a big guy.
I am a big guy.
All right, we come back here on the Inland Sports Show. More on the NCAA Tournament National Championship game, Villanova and Michigan. We got the great Brian Wethers in the house. How'd you get this? He's a big name. How'd you get him in our studio?
He's the greatest player in the history of the Temecula Valley, Marietta Valley region.
See, I thought you were going to say Riverside County, but
no,
that would be you.
That's me.
That would be you.
Yeah, do that. There's no, but no. Yeah. Bring it on.
We'll be right back. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Would you like to come over and study tonight?
How you guys doing? I'm Coach Ray again. We're here at the Boost Performance Center with the one and only Pep Fernandez. So today's tip, I'm going to go over the shuttle run. So really, the shuttle run is a great drill to measure lateral speed, power, and change of direction. So we're going to go over that today, and it's a drill that can benefit really, again, any type of field sport, whether you're a basketball player, football, volleyball, soccer. If you got to change directions, you got to be quick. Shuttle run's for you. Okay, so Jacob's going to demonstrate the shuttle run here. We're going to start off with the stance. So he's going to have his feet about hip width. Now, this is really important because a lot of times you get guys who try to shift their stance. You got to split the line evenly, and you want to make sure your toes are forward. You want to make sure your feet are right underneath your hips, all right? So he's going to have his feet forward and underneath their hips. All right, now, when I say set, he's going to drop down very quickly. Whatever hand is down is the direction that you have to go. So he's going to go to his left first, so he's got to have his left hand down. Now, his right hand is going to be right here, all right? It's going to be right in front of his body. His elbow's going to be flexed. Hand's going to be right under his chin, all right? So when I say he's going to drop down really fast, all right, he's going to put his hand down, left hand down on top of the line, right hand at his underneath his chin. Ready? Set. All right, relax. All right, so that's the stance there. We don't want to hold the stance any longer than about 3 seconds, all right? So we want to be in and out, all right? Now, let's talk about the first touch. Once he leaves, all right, his first movement, that timer is going to start. He's going to give me a nice lateral run coming out. So he's not going to turn his head and turn his body run. He's going to lateral run coming out, and then we make our first touch. He's going to do what's called a wedge cut. It's a double foot cut, and he's going to touch right outside of his feet here. So he's going to touch the line with his left hands. He's going to do a wedge cut, a double foot cut. He's going to have a nice angle at the shins. He's going to touch right outside of the foot. So now I'm heading back in the direction I want to go. All right, that angle is really important. So we're going to nice wedge cut here, left hand touch. We'll wedge cut it here with the right, and then we'll sprint through for the finish. 5, 10, 5. Here we go. You ready, Jacob? So he's going to go on me. Set. Go. Take it back. Finish right in the middle. Good, right there. Now, typically, you want to finish with your head down. All right, you want to maintain that forward lean. There you have it. Shuttle run.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
And I'm here tonight to stand up for the rights of other nerds.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Welcome back to the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM, your official pregame show as we lead up to the NCAA National Championship game between Villanova and Michigan, that which you can hear right here on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM right after us at 6 p.m. We're brought to you by Spoiled, quick quality oil change, Kin's Sporting Goods, Boost Performance Training, and Catalana Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. We've got a friend of the show. He always kept us well-fed, and one of the greatest basketball players from this area outside of Jeff Gorham. It's the great Brian Wethers. What's up, Coach? How are you doing today?
Gentlemen, doing good. Thanks for having me on the show.
So when you were – wait, hold on real quick, because Brian's a little younger than Jeff. When you were growing up, Coach, did you always look up to, like, Jeff Gorham, like, oh, man, he's one of the all-time greats. I want to be like that guy.
Well, to be honest, I had no idea who he was.
Bingo! See, I'm old. I'm really old.
You learned about legends as a kid. He wasn't one of the guys that, pushed me younger. Was kind of Magic Johnson, so I apologize.
Yeah, those guys.
Jeff, Magic Johnson. Yeah. I mean, they were all pretty good.
Hey, I had to guard Magic. There you go.
You did play him, right?
I did guard old Magic. Buck.
Or he had to guard you.
Yeah, he
right?
had to guard me.
You didn't guard him. He had to guard you.
Magic.
But, Coach, we want to talk about the Villanova-Michigan championship game tonight because I didn't get to make the trip, but Jeff was there. You were there. UC Riverside played Michigan in Ann Arbor. It was the Sunday after Thanksgiving. I was asking Jeff earlier. I'll ask you the same question. At the time, when you looked at that Michigan team, did you think, you know what, this is a really good team? I wouldn't be surprised to see them make a deep run in March Madness.
To be honest, I did. I remember saying that with the other coaching staff, that just how impressed with how fast they were, and just the size difference compared to our group. But you could see all the pieces there. Nobody, I don't think, predicted at that time they'd be a national championship team, but I could definitely see them making a Sweet 16 run or maybe even deeper. But to see them in the national championship game is impressive. It's cool for us to haven't played against them, but I do like Villanova in this game.
Yeah, my heart says Michigan, but my gut says Villanova, and I picked Villanova since the very start.
Well, you think of it this way. Last game, you talked about the 18 threes in the game. That's impressive, but the most impressive is during that game they set an NCAA record for most threes by any team in a season. So they shoot the ball very well, but there's always a chance, and they've lost 3 times. The games that they lost, they shot under 30%. If you're not shooting well, and I'll tell you what, Michigan, and Coach Wethers will attest to this, Michigan plays the perimeter D guarding the three-point shooters better than anybody in the tournament. If they shoot like they did versus Texas Tech where they snuck away a win early in the tournament, Michigan has a shot to beat these guys.
So you're saying Villanova might play into a Michigan strength so they can defend?
They're the best perimeter defensive team in the tournament. They're big, they're long, and they really, really take away that three-point shot, and that's really what has hurt. Villanova has hurt everybody because of that shot.
Well, Coach Wethers, here in our little Inland Sports family and our spouses and a couple other people, we did a little brackets. I won, by the way. I'm really good. I picked some really, really good teams. I had Villanova going all the way. When you first look at the brackets, who did you go through and say, you know what? I think they're going to be in the Final Four. Was it Villanova to you? Like, did you feel like, hey, this is a team that can go all the way?
Honestly, yeah. And I hate to sound like I'm, Nostradamus at this point. But,
yeah, now they're in the championship. Yeah, Villanova, Michigan,
It can go any way, once you get into this tournament, on any given, night, somebody's going to have a great game. And like, Jeff said, if Villanova's not hitting that 3, then they may not win the night, but they're shooting it at a very high percentage. They've got multiple guys. I think they had 8 guys, that hit threes, which is rare, where you got guys in multiple positions that can shoot. So I think that's where their advantage lies, is you really only need a few guys to get hot, and they've got multiple guys that can shoot at a pretty high percentage. But yeah, Villanova was a team I looked at early, and I knew that they had all the pieces. They're obviously well coached, and they take care of that basketball. So they turn it over at a low rate. They shoot it at a record, 3-point percentage, and here they are.
Now you guys scouted, obviously, Michigan. Can you kind of take us behind the scenes what goes on as far as scouting a team like Michigan, how it, from start to finish, how you guys get into your scouting mode?
Well, for us, we knew we were kind of outgunned at, in a few positions. So we wanted to defend well, and we needed guys to score the ball well, which really didn't happen for us on that particular night. But you look at how we're going to slow them down. They're a really good transition team. I think they abuse us in that department. But from watching how the coaching staff breaks down game by game, you're just looking to, slow them down, in terms of, you had Wagner inside. We knew it would be a problem for us. How's Al going to deal with that? We thought maybe trying to go right at him early to, force him to play some defense, maybe get in some early foul trouble to see how that plays out for us. But ultimately, you look at what you can do offensively to utilize the talent that we had, put them in, situations to be successful, and you just drill it to death, in practice. And I think our coaching staff did a good job of preparing us, and our guys for what we were going to see offensively. I think we were always defensively one of the better teams, and held teams below their average on most nights. Michigan was a different beast. They were they're here for a reason right now. But looking back on just kind of preparation or preparing for that game, it was how we were going to deal with their transition.
Talking with Brian Wethers here on the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Coach, I look at Fullerton, who was the Big West champ, and they played Purdue in the first round. And I think, wait, UC Riverside beat Fullerton once. They probably should have beat them again twice.
Yes.
And you see them going to the big dance. I don't know if you watched the Fullerton-Purdue game, but, when Fullerton punched their ticket to the tournament, in the back of your mind were you thinking, man, that could have been us. Like, why not us?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I was hoping our guys would look at it the same way, our players, and just how close we actually were. And, you look at a couple games, a couple possessions late down the stretch, and, we're that caliber team to have that type of opportunity. So, it hurt us to how many close games we lost this year. And, to see a team like Fullerton, who we did beat and we played well both times we played them, advance, win the tournament, you just have to kind of look at what we have and, a couple things we could have done differently to make that.
Like so close.
Yeah, so close.
Do you like seeing a team like Loyola make a run?
Oh, I loved it.
Like a mid-major from out of nowhere. I mean, that could be a UC Riverside one day or a Cal Baptist one day. Like you see a mid-major like Loyola, you're like, I'm not really sure where they're even from, and they make this great run.
I think that's great for the game, to see these new faces, new teams come in, have an opportunity to, put the spotlight on their school and, get a lot of attention that is really just. They came in and shook everybody, and just came out and played. And I thought they were going to beat Michigan after that first half. Michigan made an adjustment, I think was able to move the ball, run their offense a little better, and they had a hard time dealing with Wagner down there. I think the size just overwhelmed them. But very impressed with how hard they played, how confident they played, and just the leadership from the coaching staff. I mean, he got those guys to really believe in what they were able to do.
So Loyola makes it to the Final Four. They are an 11 seed. Coach Wethers, in my book, that is a definite dark horse. a Cinderella, right? A Cinderella, a sleeper. Hold on, Jeff. No, hold on, Jeff.
I know where you're going
no.
with this. Come on.
Jeff, pipe down for a second because I got to talk to Coach Wethers about this real quick. So we're doing our NCAA tournament brackets, Coach.
Right.
And we're going through, and we're just kind of talking out loud on the air, like, oh, I really like Villanova, and, San Diego State, they might get hot. And Jeff pipes in. He's like, you know what? My dark horse this year, I think it's going to be Gonzaga. I'm like, Jeff, Gonzaga's been in the tournament like 20 years in a row. They played North Carolina in the championship last year. They're not a dark horse.
But they lost everybody.
No.
Yeah, they
that's
did.
Not a Cinderella.
They're from the WCC.
Loyola's a dark horse.
No.
So hold on. He's the expert. Coach Wethers, is Gonzaga a dark horse, a sleeper, a Cinderella?
Oh, man. Jeff, my man, I got a little pep. I mean, I think they've been out of the dark ages for quite some time.
That's right. They've been out of the dark ages
Aren't
for
they
years.
mid-major still?
No.
They do some high major recruiting.
Yeah. I thought
we had a great laugh on the show, and Jeff's like, because he was real thoughtful about it. He's like, I think my
to win it.
My dark horse this year to make a really good run. I think I'm gonna go with Gonzaga.
Whatever, jerks. Whatever. You just.
He's the same guy. He's really frustrated with the Lakers.
Yes.
And Lonzo Ball. He's just frustrated with the whole deal, and he's like, I might pick a new NBA team. I think I'm gonna pick Golden State.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you're allowed
pick Golden
Where's
State.
the rules that says I can't do that?
No, pick Toronto or pick Orlando.
No, because I like guys that can shoot
Charlotte.
the ball. I like guys that can shoot. I don't want to see guys that just shoot. I don't want to see
Pick Utah. Somebody.
I don't want to see that crap. I want to see guys shoot the ball. I want to see guys shooting threes. I want to see Klay Thompson. They're my new team. They are my new team.
Yeah.
The Warriors. They might win a championship.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. Who would have thought, right?
I'm telling you, man. They're going to be really good this year.
Wow, you picked a really good
They got some good players, I heard. Yeah.
Who's your favorite NBA team, Coach?
I have grown up a lifelong Laker fan. It's hard to jump that wagon now. But, as I watched the game,
They're getting better.
They're getting better.
Yeah.
They're getting better. But, you know, you do watch the powerhouses. You watch Cleveland. You watch the Warriors.
Yeah.
You watch the,
Jeff's other team.
The OKC, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to ride with my Lakers because I think they're going to be back in the next couple of years. And I would hate to jump off that ship now.
I'm getting really close. I'm telling you, this Lonzo Ball thing is driving me nuts. This whole Ball family. The whole now
they're at a crossroads because if they don't draft or sign Jello Ball, remember LeVar Ball said he's yanking Lonzo out for the Lakers.
I'm so tired of dealing with these. The middle ball, as you call it.
The middle ball might bust it all up.
The middle ball right now, I'm going to tell you right now, the middle ball could not guard Brian Wethers right now. And Brian Wethers is removed from playing the game.
I've seen him shooting around. I think he still play,
I'm telling you, if I could pick Brian Wethers or the middle ball right now, I'm going B. Weathers because I've seen Jello Ball. How do you average 35 points a game and 1 rebound? 1 damn rebound. I could get 1 rebound in my sleep. Big ball would land on me. I'd at least grab it in my sleep.
I think my favorite quote from LeVar Ball, coach, and he's said a lot of outlandish things, was, remember, Jeff, he said, the Lakers are going to sign Jello Ball, so they're going to have Jello, they're going to have Zoe, and they're going to bring in LeBron. Those 3 guys will do all the scoring, and they just need 2 other people to rebound the basketball for them. So, you know, I mean, they can bring in like Kawhi or maybe a Julius Randle. All they have to do is rebound the basketball and let the big 3, the middle ball, Zoe, and LeBron do all the scoring. So that sounds like a plan, right?
A high school plan. You know, they had success doing that at Chino, but it's just different.
Hey, they had success the 1 year, then they didn't have success, and then when they left, they got even bigger success. They won the state championship.
Yeah, they did.
Without those ding-a-lings.
This year, yeah.
Yeah. They got the cousin Ball, who's pretty good, though.
Was it Andre?
I don't know. It's some other ball.
Andre Ball.
Andre Ball.
Right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Is he part of the Big Baller brand?
I don't know.
I'm wearing my Big Baller shoes.
No, you are.
I'm wearing my flip-flops. That's exactly what those are. They have the flip-flops. Remember the Big Baller flip-flops?
No, I don't know about those.
They're called, what are they called? A slide or a glide? What are the young teenagers calling flip-flops these days?
Greg's thinking.
Slips.
No, I think they're called glides.
Are they glides? They always look like shower shoes to me.
Where's my phone at?
When I spent years in prison, that's what I wore in
if they're
the shower.
glides, you guys all owe me an apology.
Oh no, I think I'm with you.
I'm highly offended.
Well, yeah, I used to wear them when I was in prison. I wore those shower slippers.
When you were in prison?
Oh yeah.
Do you have a soap on the rope?
Soap on a rope. I wore it over my shoulder. I was the most feared guy in prison.
They're slides.
Slide?
So I was really close.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, could you imagine me in prison? I'm 6'8".
Yeah, I probably could.
I'm 300 pounds. I look like, I'm like the Big Show.
The Big Show.
No way. There's no darn way. I would have been. When I first went to prison, I hit the first person. It was a guard, but he was about 5'6".
I'm like picturing the scene from Guardians of the Galaxy, like when they're breaking out of prison. Yes. That's like what I'm picturing right now.
Yeah, I'm like Groot.
Coach, can you hold on one more segment?
Yes, I can.
All right, let's take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to circle back around. More NCAA tournament. Also, we got to talk NBA basketball because I still want to get his thoughts on.
Oh, yes.
Can the Clippers make it and all kinds of good stuff. And then, again, 6 o'clock right here, Michigan, Villanova playing for the title on Fox Sports IE, 1350 a.m. We'll be right back. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show.
This bumper's going to go on the wall of my garage, carnal. I'm going to put a little sign.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I think that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and you know, help them reach their athletic potential, you know, help them, you know, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, you know, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, you know, in terms of speed, power, you know, strength, agility.
We're small, family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajalco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We are walking you up to the Wolverines and the Wildcats. They will tip off about 6:20 p.m., but our live coverage here on Fox Sports IE will begin at 6 p.m. right after the one and only Inland Sports Show. That's Jeff Gorham. That's Greg Holla. I'm Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in on a Monday. We just had opening weekend of baseball. It's national championship tonight. It's all good, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It seems like since we were on the air for a week last week, but I missed you. I missed your smell.
Because, again,
I missed your musk.
I was deep in Orange County. Orange County opened up their homes and their hearts
to
the Inland Sports Show. They embraced it. All the surfers and investment bankers were giving me high fives as I was walking down Newport Beach.
Pep.
It was awesome. It's wonderful. But I'm glad to be back in studio with you stinky guys, so it's good to be back.
Hey, thanks, buddy. It's always nice to be called that.
So we're talking Michigan. We're talking Villanova. We got the great Brian Wethers in the house. Coach, you played at Cal. You played a lot of professional basketball all over the world. How has the game changed since you played? And that really wasn't too long ago. I mean, I'm not trying to put you in the grave here. You're not an old guy. I mean, but it's changed, though. How has it changed?
Three-point shooting, hands down. I think there's a lot more three-point shots being thrown up. Guys are more skilled, I think, all around. I do think the game was more physical, back when I was playing. And, I think it was officiated a little bit differently. But you look at the overall skill of the average player, I think it's just higher now. Guys are able to handle the ball a little cleaner. I think even passing the ball better, shooting the ball at a higher volume from the three-point line, from the 4 or 5 position, which wasn't common. It was getting there, during my professional career and even college career, but not as common. I think it's almost rare to find a center in the league that can't shoot the three now, opposed to, a few here and there.
Now, you were a California Golden Bear. So was Jeff. Do you know Jeff was a Golden Bear for a year? Do you know who his roommate was?
I do not.
It was Jason Kidd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know.
Was he a good roommate?
No, not really.
Was he messy?
He was pretty messy. He was just, I got a lot of stories I could never, ever share. But
he's going to the Hall of Fame. They just announced it over the weekend,
I sure
right?
hope he thanks me for some of those papers I helped him with.
You were giving the assist back then, huh?
Yeah. Jeff never passed.
We did used to go, we'd sneak into Harmon and we'd shoot baskets. Except, he just did a lot of rebounding. And I would rebound for him, and I'd chase the ball all over the gym.
Because he never made baskets,
right? He couldn't make any shots. Freshman coming out of high school, he really just couldn't shoot. He was Ace Kid.
Ace Kid?
Yeah, there's no J.
No J.
No J at all.
So we got a couple Golden Bears. Jeff was a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it Cal, BYU, CBU?
Cal, yeah. I've been all over.
A little bit of everything.
I'm a Renaissance man.
Hey, but I wore my Bakersfield Jam shirt because Brian Wethers is my favorite Jam player of all time. Even better than Mateen Cleaves.
Oh!
Even better than, who was another? Trey Johnson, I think, was another
Trey
one.
Johnson. He's
Derek Byers was another guy, I think, that came through there. Who's the big guy? Alex Lewis. I don't know. Did you play with any of these guys?
No.
Who were some of the other guys when you were with the Bakersfield Jam? I know it was a short little window there, but who were some of the other guys when you were at the Bakersfield Jam in the D League?
Oh, that were in the D League on the Bakersfield Jam team. I had nobody. I think that eventually even made pro. I had a guy, George Williams. I played ball with a little bit. I remember him. He was from Texas. I had another kid. I was a point guard. Went to San Francisco. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Not very memorable guys.
No.
Not even like because there was a couple guys who got like 10-day contracts, and then because of the affiliation, they would I remember the Warriors.
Most of the guys ended up overseas.
Did they? Okay.
I don't, nobody from that squad I don't think was pulled up to the NBA. And it was a pretty short stint. I do remember Coach Herrick, and more so the the coaching staff more than anything, trying to make an impression on those guys and being some of those former NBA players. There was Tracy Murray, Sean Rooks, Brad Wright, who were all great teachers, great men, and kind of helped me further my pro career with some of the things they taught me.
Because right now the big discussion is, the D League, which they I guess they've coined it the G League now because Gatorade bought the rights, but it's the D League in my heart. So the D League, when you look at it, You know, some guys, there's a big recruit he was supposed to go to Syracuse, a 5-star recruit out of high school, and he says, no, I'm not going to go to Syracuse. I'm actually going to go to the D-League and play there for a year, you know, because you got to be a year out of high school or 19 years old to go to the NBA draft. I mean, what's your thoughts on a guy maybe who says, you know what, I'm not going to be a one and done in college. I'm going to go just turn pro. I'll go to the D-League. I'll put in my time there and see what happens.
Well, you know, I kind of equivalent it to almost like an internship when you go to a job. You're young, and, you know, you go to intern for a job that you really want. You know, for these guys, it's the NBA, and in this case, they are getting paid a little bit of money. But if you're kind of certain of your future and your destination, these guys are still capable of going back and getting their degrees, you know, if that's something that's important to them. So I think to go ahead and get your foot in the door, which is really what they do in the European leagues. These guys are playing and training in professional style basketball from the time they're, 10, 11 years old. And when they're good enough to play, they're good enough to make money. So I think you're seeing some of that kind of mindset transfer over here in our league, where you've got kids that are saying, well, heck, if I'm good enough now, I can go play in the G League a year, make some money, learn to play the NBA game and get physical and stronger, and then make myself more valuable. So it's, you can look at it a couple different ways. I know the negative side of it would be, these kids aren't going to get in their education. They're only thinking about basketball. But for some of these guys who are NBA prospects, this is a $1 million opportunity, and you can't really knock them, I think, for knowing what they're capable of and having the testicular fortitude to go out and go for it.
Yeah. I have no problem with a kid like this, especially, I forget his name, but the kid going to Syracuse who...
Darius Baisley.
That's him. He bypassed the Orange. He's gonna enter the D-League draft, and he's going to start there and hopefully make it to the NBA. My only thing is, I was telling Jeff, you turn on Fox Sports 1 or Sports Center, you don't see D-League highlights every night, but you do see the ACC in the Big East and Pac-12 basketball. Like, if you're playing in a high-profile college basketball program like a Syracuse or something like that, you're still in the public limelight. Like, people are still going to be talking about you and seeing about you, seeing things about you. But, if you're going to play the Fort Wayne Mad Ants or the Sioux Falls Skyforce or whoever, it's like, people might forget about you. Not, I'm sure the people in the basketball circles will be like, oh, I remember that guy. He's really good. Maybe we should draft him. But if you're playing at Syracuse, you're going to be on national TV. You're going to be on all the big networks. You're probably going to be in the NCAA tournament. People are going to be talking about you. That's my only thing. But if you want to go straight to the pros, I have no problem with it.
Yeah, see, my wife and I, Smitty Smedberg and I, today, we talked about this. And I think she'd mentioned that one of the conversations you and I had, I don't think the answer maybe is paying college athletes, because then if you do that, it opens a can of worms to paying the track athlete, the golfer, the heptathlete that you have. I think the one thing you could open doors is, you and I were both on full scholarships. Yeah. I had parents that didn't make a lot of money, so I made all my money in the summer. I think maybe an answer to this would be, hey, you're getting your education paid for, you're getting your housing paid for, your food for the most part, but maybe give these guys maybe a small job that they can get paid a little bit during the offseason. It works around their schedule. I think that might be an answer. And then I think the NBA needs to eliminate the one and done. I think that would solve a lot of problems, because how many guys actually make it one and done? There's only a handful of guys, 5 or 6 tops, if it's a good draft year. If not, a lot of those guys are going to just kind of fade away into either not playing anywhere, or you got to really develop that G League or develop minor league system to help bolster some of these guys to get them transitioning into the real world. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Speaking of the D League, I know a lot of guys went through this, and you probably did too. You could go overseas and make really good money, or you could be closer to the NBA and stay in the D League and basically play for peanuts, but you were at least on the NBA's radar, so to speak, as opposed to being, I don't know, in Greece or somewhere. But you're making. I remember Jerry McNamara is the guy I always think about. He was in Greece making like $300,000 a year, like riding the bench for a team in Greece. But he's like, nobody knows he's in Greece, so he wanted to come back to the D League and play for hardly anything. But he thought, you know what? I got to make sure if I can make it to the NBA or not. Did you struggle with that? Like, hey, I want to be in the D League, but at the same time, I need to go make my money while I can.
Well, I think the smart time to do it is, when you're young, when you're coming out of college, or, in the now cases, coming out of, high school, and you have an opportunity to do it. Where you're kind of used to not making a lot of money, or you don't have a lot of bills, you bank on your ability to, hey, I'm going to stay here. I want to be in the NBA's radar, and maybe in a year or two, I can get pulled up. But I have seen guys kind of use it to propel their overseas career, where they're probably not going to get drafted by the NBA, but the G League is very respected. They know it's a step away from the NBA, and it makes you a little more marketable overseas, having played in that league. So some guys will play the entire D League and make peanuts, and then be able to go play somewhere either in Europe or in Asia and make a pretty good chunk of change in a month or two, to help them kind of manage that.
Yeah, I mean, there's money to be made out there. That's for sure. I mean, you can make a great living, playing overseas. I know some guys probably, maybe I don't know if they regret it, but think, hey, you know what? I wonder if I could have made it to the NBA if I would have not, followed the money and just played overseas somewhere. But yeah, I mean you played a couple of different places.
I played overseas, and the thing is, I think what helped me is, I was invited to an NBA camp, and then from that, my agent was an agent that was pretty familiar with a lot. He had a lot of NBA guys under his belt. Just because I was invited to a camp, I think that propelled me to where I was able to go 6 months out of the year. And you did the same thing, playing in Australia, New Zealand, and Germany, and these places. And I did make a pretty good living for a couple years out of college. Plus, I got to see the world. And, once I was done, I rented a Winnebago and traveled and saw everything. Those are the positives, because you do get to play. And if you have a good agent, you're not going to be sent to, Tijuana where you're playing and getting rocks thrown at you. I mean,
that's a true story.
Yeah.
Right.
And Brian, he played over in Australia and had a very successful career. And I think that he probably would have never traded that for the experiences he had overseas. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I have an opportunity. I was training and I tore my Achilles working out with the Golden State Warriors right before the NBA draft, and it was looking pretty promising. I might get picked up maybe in the second round or somewhere along that. But having traveled the world, I've visited over 20 different countries. I've made endless amount of relationships, people I still keep in contact today, and I got to do all that for free, kind of like you said, and make some good money while I was doing it. So we're going to get religious on you guys, but God has a plan for everybody, and I just feel like that was what He had in store for me, and I wouldn't trade it.
So if you walk off the plane in let's say Sydney, Australia tomorrow, would they roll out the red carpet and be like, it's Brian Wethers, he's back, he's the biggest star to play from Australia? Maybe not, or
probably not. I might get a couple friends pick me up, maybe grab a beer with, but I don't know about a red carpet.
What are you doing these days, Brian Wethers? You training some basketball kids?
Absolutely. Well, because I was director of ops, they've allowed me to train with younger kids, anywhere from 6th grade on down, boys or girls. So, when I'm not at Riverside, kind of getting your guys' menus and getting your food orders.
Oh, we got to get to that still, yeah.
We do.
I do a little bit of training. So I've been doing that for quite some time. I was doing it with the high school kids before I started working at the D1 level. But it's private training's been my passion, skill development. I think as a player, I was a pretty good scorer. As Jeff knows, he found out. He had a history. But, so I love to kind of teach and kind of help guys figure things out. So I've been doing that now about 6-7 years, and a little bit on the side now that I've been working with UC Riverside.
So if there's a young baller out there that wants to get a hold of you for some basketball training, what's the best way to contact you?
The best way is contact me myself. You can reach me at 310-220-9372, or you can email me at Brian, BRIAN, at wetbasketball.com. That's WET basketball.com.
See, when we travel with UC Riverside, we get to see all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Of course, we don't show it.
I've lost 20 pounds since not hanging out with Wethers.
But here's the funny thing, Coach, and this is what Jeff and I used to always talk about. I would say, hey, we're looking at, I don't know, the UC Santa Barbara matchup. Maybe like, that Max Heidegger guy, man, he could really shoot the ball. Like, what do you think, Jeff? And Jeff would be like, I don't know, man, but Coach Wethers needs to know, do you want Italian or do you want turkey? So I'm trying to study for the game and get ready for the broadcast, and Jeff's only worried about if I want pickles or onions on the sandwich. It's the only thing he's worried about.
Yeah, well, Jeff knows he's got to get that text in 5 minutes. Or you get whatever you get.
You're darn right. He would text me, and it was like, boom, 30 seconds later. I'd be in my class during the day, and I'm like, I just got a text from Wethers. Oh, I want Italian. Boom.
Yeah. Lasagna or spaghetti and meatballs.
Let's talk a little bit about that Santa Barbara trip, though. Wethers got us a nice room. I mean, a beautiful room. We're right on the beach. It was a suite.
We got our own room. I didn't have to stay with you.
We didn't have to spoon. Yeah. So, but the best part about the trip is, we drove ourselves up there, and we're we're in the car afterwards, and Wethers goes, "Hey, you guys have a sandwich there." So we go.
Oh, that's right.
So we go to the bus, and we pick up the sandwich. And we picked up the sandwich, and it was about as big as a baby. You remember?
It was like a small baby.
It was.
I was like rocking it. I even named mine.
You did. So then we go back and we drive back to our hotel, and we have our own. I say good night, Pep, and Pep says
Good night, Jeff.
Good night, Jeff. And we grabbed our sandwiches, and it was like we were cheating on our wives. This sandwich was so big, so delicious, and so good. And I was taking it to my room.
I took a picture of it. I took a picture of it.
It was ordered with love.
Oh my gosh! I laid in that king size bed next to my sandwich. I leaned over on the pillow and looked at it and said, "I'm gonna eat you all up tonight, baby." I called my wife. She goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "Oh, nothing. Just nothing. Nothing. I can't tell you what I'm doing." And then I looked over at the sandwich. The sandwich smiled. And it was the best damn sandwich I ever ate in my life.
The other one was pretty good because remember
I know you're going.
It was the heartbreaking loss against Davis, right?
Oh,
that was the game UC Riverside should have won. We all felt all tore up about it. We get on the bus, and I enjoyed probably the best burger I'd had in a long time. Right? It was really good.
It was great. I don't know if you noticed this, but the burger had guacamole on it.
Yes.
Okay, and I was
I love. That's good.
Yeah, I'm new to the guacamole nation. I really am. I was unfamiliar with it. So then I get this sandwich, I have this burger, and I go, man, it's big, it's delicious, it's juicy, and there's guac on it. And I heard a couple guys in the back go, "What's this green stuff on my burger?"
Come on, man.
I'm like, what do you? Hey, you guys don't like that burger back there?
You
can
trick them into getting healthy sometimes.
Yeah, trick them.
Oh yeah,
it's got the good cholesterol, man. Avocados, yeah.
Hey, remember we're talking a lot of food here. Do you remember at Loyola Marymount we got on the bus and there was Italian food?
Oh yeah.
And then we were at Fullerton, and there was the Fullerton Rib Company, which is like hoity-toity
Well,
ribs.
I wasn't there. I didn't get that one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you, I would come home, and I felt like a first-class citizen. I felt like Rich Jeff.
Yeah. It was just not, like we were in Hawaii, and they're like, "What? Here's a pizza," and I'm like, "Pizza."
That's right. Grab a
I'm like
pizza.
having a party in my room, like for a bunch of people. No, I don't need a whole
the
pizza.
Best. Yeah, Brian Wethers, thank you so much for feeding me all year.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to travel with the whole team. You know,
It is, 'cause you've got to eat like a college athlete, and if you're not burning calories like a college athlete, it'll start to add up on it.
Yeah, Jeff was bummed a couple times because we get on the bus like after a shoot around. He'd be like, "Where's the snacks?" He'd be like looking around, "Where's the
looking
snacks?"
up in the overheads for the gummies and stuff.
I was getting the stink eye. Huh?
But no, Brian had the hardest job of any person.
You got to take a whole team and make sure everyone gets there safely and back, and hotel rooms and food and flights and buses and snowstorms.
He took some
nonsense.
He took some heat this year when we used to giggle. We used to go, "Oh, Brian's going to take some heat on this one." But everybody loved Brian Wethers. Nicest guy around. Coach, you do a great job. I'll tell you, I saw a big difference with the guys you were able to work with at the end of the year compared to when they started. And I'm sure you're going to have a bright future wherever you go. Just remember, Pep and I want to follow you just because your menu items are the best.
100%. I always got you guys.
Yeah, I always wonder how he found those great local spots.
Yeah, how did you find those things? Did you
Like,
Google it?
It's all about star rating. You got to follow.
Oh yeah, because the Santa Barbara sandwich shop. Like, how did he know to go there and get this small baby that you had to like cradle and rock back to the room?
You learn. You talk to other dobos in the business. You figure out where the best eat spots are, but ultimately it's just getting online and looking, seeing what's available, and what accommodates the entire team, and being on top of it.
Yeah, that's got to be the
Fun
hard
job.
Did anyone have allergies? Like, oh, so and so can't have
We had a
shellfish or
couple guys
gluten
that,
or.
One guy couldn't eat peanuts. We had to make sure there was no nuts on anything he ate. And then we had another guy that didn't eat any pork. But aside from that, nothing. Little small requests that I would ignore as long as you were healthy, you were eating it.
Yeah.
Well, all I know is if Pep and I are calling the games next year for UC Riverside, that Dobo better know what the heck he's doing, because we'll hold
Jeff's
him
hungry.
We're going to hold him accountable. If I'm eating salads, I'm going to punch him.
All right, that's the great Brian Wethers here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we'll talk about the 4th Annual Inland Sports All-Star Classico. We'll be back. It's the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
We're small, family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajalco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
Welcome back. It's the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. Going strong, bringing some heat on a Monday. That was the great Brian Wethers. Such a good guy. Jeff, it's so hard to take, what was our group for UC Riverside with all the coaches and the trainers and everybody, like 20 people in the party, right?
At least, yeah.
I mean, that's tough to get everybody around with all the, the flights and the bus rides and the food and getting snacks and coordinating all this stuff. Like, the teams have to do that on their own. I mean, of course, they have budgets, but they have to do that. That's Brian Wethers was doing all that stuff for the basketball team behind the scenes.
Oh, he did that. Plus, he was, he was on the floor with the players later on in the year. I'll tell you, the guy works his butt off. He's a likable guy, and I'm sure that he'll get a job here coaching rather quickly. It's he's just one of those dudes you look at and you go, hey, he did a great job this year with UC Riverside.
Yeah, there's just a lot up in the air at UC Riverside. We had David Patrick, who's been named the new head coach. Last week, he joined us on the show. In fact, we're going to interview him again on Wednesday night at the UC Riverside Coaches Show at Lake Alice. But he still has to kind of round out his coaching staff. So there's still a lot up in the air at UC Riverside. And we were mentioning also Cal State San Bernardino. That's another job that recently opened up. So we got to find out what's going on there as well. So, I mean, there's a lot in the Inland Empire in terms of college basketball that's still being settled right now. Once all the dust settles, we'll find out who's going to land where. But there's a lot of changes going on with a coaching change at UC Riverside and also a coaching change at Cal State San Bernardino.
I'll tell you what, and that Cal State San Bernardino job is a very good job. Just think they were in the national championship game a few years ago. They were in the Final Four under Coach Oliver. Larry Reynolds was the coach there for a long time. I mean, they've had really good traditions. Oliver was there for 16 years. They've got a phenomenal facility on campus. It is a very good job for anybody that would want that job. I mean, I know John Smith, I don't know if he's interested in a Division II job so much, but if he were to apply for it, I think he'd be great. I think Justin Bell would be awesome. Both those guys would be great candidates.
Well, the 4th annual Inland Sports All-Star Classic is coming. It's Saturday. I can't believe it. It's almost here. They're calling it the Game of the Year. Almost the biggest game in history, but that's the football game. So this is the Game of the Year.
There's some great players playing in this game.
They're going to write books about this game one day.
Our boy Cullen is going to be calling the women's game at 5 o'clock.
I might do the color on that.
I might be watching next to you guys and trying to make Cullen laugh while he's doing
Be the stat guy.
Be the stat guy, but the game will be covered by
Teen Vision TV 16. So we appreciate Johnny Boy and his crew out there. We've teamed up to do a lot of things with them. They do such an excellent job, so we're honored to have them on board as well. So we're going to be at RCC Saturday night. The girls' all-star games at 5, the boys right after at about 7 o'clock, and we got the top seniors. We're going to celebrate them. We're going to showcase them. We're going to have a great time, and it's all going to be broadcasted live on TV 16. But we'd love to see you out there at RCC. Let's pack the gym. Let's send off these seniors in a big way. Let's make the place loud, rowdy, and see some really great high school basketball.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time, and it's, like I said, for some of these guys, they're going to go on and play Division I, Division II, or continue playing their college basketball lives. For some, it'll be their last time they lace up the shoes and put on the jersey in front of the home crowd as a high school player. So it's kind of the yearbook, the final yearbook for this high school basketball year. We're going to put a bow on it. There's been some great programs. Poly had a great year. Cajon had a great year. Notre Dame.
Let's not forget about Notre Dame, yeah.
Hillcrest. These are some great programs.
Rancho Verde.
Yeah, all went really, really far. So the Inland Empire is really the best area of basketball in the state of California.
The best, Jerry.
By far the best. Yes.
So it's the 4th annual Inland Sports All-Star Classic this Saturday night at RCC. 5 o'clock, the girls. 7 o'clock, the boys. We hope to see you out there. If not, we'll be broadcasting it live with our friends at TV 16 Teen Vision in the Val Verde School District, and we'll get you all the details on the broadcast. We'll make sure we tweet that out before then, because If you don't get the TV channel, which is TV 16 down in like the Paris, Moreno Valley area, maybe bleeds into parts of Riverside, it's okay because we'll be streaming it live on YouTube as well. So it doesn't matter where you live in the Inland Empire, you'll still be having a chance to watch it live or even on demand. After the fact, you can go back and watch it as well. One other quick basketball note here, Jeff, from the college basketball world before we move on is, remember we were talking about Gonzaga possibly moving to the Mountain West Conference to join the likes of San Diego State, our good friend John Ramey in Nevada, some of those big boys. But it sounds like Gonzaga will probably not be making the move to the Mountain West Conference next season.
And I called it. I said they would not. Remember, I said they would not go into the Mountain West because they just don't field enough teams, and the revenue sharing in the Mountain West is a lot different than the WCC. And the WCC, teams like Gonzaga, when they win and they make money going to the playoffs, the TV deals, they don't have to share equally amongst other teams in that conference. In the Mountain West, you do. And that would really hurt Gonzaga because they don't field football. They don't field other sports. So Gonzaga looks like they're out. BYU, though, could make a play to go back into the Mountain West Conference.
Well, Gonzaga's a big fish in a small pond. And from everything I read, it sounds like even though they're in a smaller conference, they actually make a lot of money.
They make a ton of money.
Yeah, so it's like wherever they actually move to, if they ever move to the Mountain West or elsewhere, it's going to have to be a pretty sweet deal because it sounds like they already have a sweet deal. They're bringing in a ton of revenue for that school.
They do. And like what's different than the WCC and the Pac-12 and the Mountain West, the bigger conferences is the TV revenue is shared equally. So in the Mountain West, it's a CBS deal. So they each get the same amount of money, regardless of how many sports they have or how you did during your season. In the WCC, you get more money based on how well you did, how high your RPI is. So Gonzaga is always going to
They're cleaning up, right?
They're cleaning up a lot of money.
For a dark horse, they're doing pretty well.
And BYU as well in that conference. I think BYU, though, is going to go into the Mountain West Conference.
You think so?
I think so.
Seems like a logical fit, right, for BYU?
Well, you know, they were in the Mountain West, and then they decided to go independent, you know, similar to what Notre Dame does. But Notre Dame still plays 5 games within a conference.
Well, for Notre Dame for basketball, they're in what? Is it the Big East?
Yes. Or the Big East or ACC? ACC.
Those Big East and ACC schools need to stay put. I lose track of them.
They're all over the place.
They jump all around.
They were a Big East team, but they do play in the ACC.
But for football, you're right. They're independent.
Yeah, but they do play 5 teams within one of the conferences.
Yeah.
So, but I think in order for them to gain momentum, for them to get a higher bowl seed, San Diego State's better now. It would benefit them going back into the Mountain West Conference.
All right, so we'll keep an eye on Gonzaga, but it looks like they are not leaving the West Coast Conference. Although, because remember we were talking about if they left the West Coast Conference, could Cal Baptist sneak in there somehow? If they wanted to, down the road, it would be a fit.
Perfect fit. You think of the school sizes that are in the WCC. You have Pepperdine, you have St. Mary's, you have Loyola
San Francisco, Santa Clara.
These schools are similar in size to Cal Baptist. In fact, I think Cal Baptist might have surpassed some of these schools. They've got the best facility, maybe outside of University of San Diego. The Jenny Craig Center is a really nice arena, but Cal Baptist would fit well into that conference. I think even better, they would be a better fit even than the WAC conference. So.
When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, baseball talk. We got guys from the IE in action and another guy from the IE, #Yucktown, that's leading all of baseball in home runs and RBI, thanks to one huge game. We'll talk about that when we come back. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
I got good news. We're extending arts and crafts time by 4 hours.
So how you guys doing? My name is Coach Ray Bass. We're here at the Boost Performance Center today, and here with the one and only Pep Fernandez, and we're going to go over a real basic vertical jump, all right? We're going to teach you guys the technique and its progression. This is a great drill for really any sports, really emphasizes pure power production through the hips, and power is really important for basically any type of athlete, whether you're a football player, track, soccer, basketball. You know, we all want to be powerful, strong athletes, so we're going to go over that today. All right, so first things first, I'm going to have Jacob go ahead and stand with his feet underneath his hips. So you want to have your toes pointed forward. You want your feet to be about hip width, all right? He's going to have his shoulders flexed, all right, in front of his body. So his arms are up in front. Okay, now, the most important part here is what's called a counter movement. And what that is I'm going to throw my shoulders back into extension, all right? I'm going to flex my hips, all right? So the shoulders are going to be flexed, and the hips are going to, the shoulders are going to be extended. And with shoulder flexion and hip fast, all right? So right now, I'm just gonna first phase of that. So I want you to, so Jacob, I want you to drop your into flexion. I want you to throw your arms back into extension when I say go. Ready? Go. Right there. So come up. That's the most important movement there. So after that, it's the landing. All right? So we want to get as high as we can. As I go up, I want to extend through my hips, through my knees, on my toes pointed up. And when we land, I'm going to land back into that hip flexion, arms extended, and I want to stick the landing. All right? So we're going to go over it now. So now we're going to actually jump here, Jacob. I want to see that counter movement. Go ahead and walk a little bit closer to the hurdle here. We're going to extend on the way up. As we elevate, extend through the hips and the knees. Stick the landing, throw the arms into extension. Here we go. Ready? On you.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
to the Wolverines and the Wildcats here playing for the national championship. 6 o'clock. Tip-off, though, about 6:20 here on Fox Sports IE. So we'll take you on for about another 56 minutes right here on the station. I'm Pep Fernandez. That's Jeff Gorham. That's Greg Holla. We're brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Kin Sporting Goods. Boost performance training with Coach Ray Bass. And Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. All right, before we get to the Dodgers and the Halos, some breaking news, and it's a real bummer. Hate to bum everybody out there. So remember our good friend Tyler Chatwood, starting pitcher in the major leagues, Redlands East Valley product, pitched for the Colorado Rockies, had a pretty good run with them, ended up going to the Chicago Cubs, made a nice little chunk of change going to the Chicago Cubs.
That's right.
Well, he made his Chicago Cubs debut this afternoon.
Oh.
And it's just gone final. Now, our boy Tyler Chatwood, he was awesome. 6 innings, gave up just 4 hits, struck out 4. Pretty nice little day at the ballpark for a Monday afternoon for our guy Tyler Chatwood.
You would think.
But the Cubs lost 1-0 to the Reds. The Cubs only managed 2 hits. So Tyler Chatwood went out there, first time in his Cubs uniform in a regular season game, made his Cubs debut, pitched his tail off. 6 innings, just 4 hits. He struck out 4, but the Cubs could not score a single run. In fact, they only had 2 hits. You know what it reminds me of? Clayton Kershaw on Thursday. Remember? The Dodgers couldn't even get a hit. Come on, guys.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, a lot of teams, though, start off slow. Even at the college level, we talked about this with Troy Percival earlier this year. He says, guys, just getting used to playing games. Sometimes it's hard to find some hits and
homers.
Hits and homers.
Lots of hits and homers. But yeah, it just went final. Cubs and Reds. Tyler Chatwood made his Cubs debut. Looked great, but he took the loss. Man, 1-0 the final score. Cincinnati wins. And, Tyler Chatwood's going to take the loss in his Cubs debut. Another local guy not too far from Redlands East Valley. Hashtag Yucktown out of Ukaipa High School. So remember Matt Davidson, opening day in the majors, had the game of his life. 3 home runs in one game. I think he had 5 RBI in that game as well. Well, he's got 6 on the season. He leads all of Major League Baseball in home runs and RBI. He's tied for the league lead in both.
Wow.
So not even just the American League, but the Major League lead. So one huge game, and through the first 4 games, the first full weekend of Major League Baseball, Matt Davidson, hashtag Yucktown, is your Major League leader, tied for the lead in home runs and RBI. Pretty cool.
One of only 4 guys in Major League history on opening day to hit 3 home runs.
Yeah, so he made some history. He's off to a great start, and right now, if you just look at that small sample size of the first 4 games, he's the best. The best, Jerry. The best.
The very, very best.
In the major leagues. Hey, another Ukaipa High School guy. Look at this. So the Dodgers are going on the road to Arizona tonight, and they're going to go up against Taiwan Walker, another Ukaipa High School guy. Hashtag Yucktown. So Taiwan Walker, he had a couple good years with the Seattle Mariners. Now he's with the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the Dodgers are going to go head-to-head with the D-backs in Taiwan Walker tonight. Jeff, the Dodgers, back to their winning ways. They lost the first 2 to the Giants, but they did not panic, as you said, right?
No panic.
No. Or actually, pun intended, right? Joe Panic. But they came back, and they stormed back in a huge way. So they came back and won 2 in a row against San Francisco. So when you look at the series as a whole, the whole body of work, the Dodgers look pretty good. They split the series 2-2, but they only gave up those 2 solo home runs. So 2 earned runs over an entire 4-game series for that Dodgers pitching staff. They came back and they scored 14 runs in the final 2 games of the series. This Dodgers team's going to be okay.
Yeah, and you look at that rotation. Rich Hill, he's like 39 years old, and he's just throwing. He's getting better and better every year. He threw 6 spotless innings. Cody Bellinger finally hit a home run.
He went deep.
He's starting to get going, but they're scoring runs. The first couple games, they looked a little anemic. I was ready to give up on them and start over next year. I was
jump to conclusions, Jeff. This season's over. Gosh.
But no, I'll tell you, they're just fine. That rotation, that pitching rotation looks good, even though they They only gave up 1 run those first 2 games. That's a pretty dynamite rotation of 4 guys.
I think a little people were concerned that there may be some sort of a hangover from last year, that it was such a great year, and they went to the World Series, and they went all the way to Game 7 of the World Series. They were so close, and that maybe somehow that feeling would linger over into this year, and we saw that first game. And Kershaw, listen, Kershaw wasn't bad at all, don't get me wrong, but the Giants did get 8 hits off of him. So I think some people were like, oh, no, Kershaw, what's going on? What's wrong with him? He was fine.
Yeah, he was fine.
He wasn't bad. But I think some people were like, oh, no, we lost 1-zip. Oh, we lost 1-zip again. The Dodgers can't hit again. Oh, no, we suck again, right? So I was like, oh, man. But they quickly turned things around. Don't worry about the Dodgers. They're going to be okay.
Yes, they will.
So they split with San Francisco. Now they go to Arizona to see Taijuan Walker and the Diamondbacks. Meanwhile, the Halos, they have their home opener tonight against the Cleveland Indians. The Big A will be rocking, and there's a lot of people excited about this team, Jeff. The Angels took 3 out of 4 from the Oakland A's to open up the season. Like the Dodgers, they dropped their season opener, and there were some people saying, oh, man, they had the lead, and they blew it. They blew it up there in Oakland, but they turned things around. Could have had the series sweep, actually, if you look at it. But they won 3 out of 4 against the Oakland A's, and everything's going to be okay with the Angels as well, as they went up there and took 3 out of 4 from the Oakland A's. And then on Easter Sunday, Shohei Ohtani stole the show. He was great.
Yeah, he threw a 3-hit ball over 6 innings, just gave up that big bomb that gave up those 3 runs. But we talked about it. His sample size in the spring was very small. The Angels, I think, knew what they were doing. I think they worked on a lot of different things with Ohtani. They didn't show too much in the spring, so maybe that helps and bolsters his confidence a little bit. But he looked very strong. His velocity was good. His breaking ball looked good. He looked like a Major League Baseball player, and a lot of people question that.
He was hitting 99, 100 miles per hour. I mean, he was throwing the high, stinky white cheddar stuff.
The velo, as they say.
The velocity, the velo. Look at you, baseball guy.
Yeah, look at that.
Baseball guy, Jeff.
Yeah.
No, he looked great. He was throwing some heat. Like the first 4 batters he faced, I believe he struck out 2 of them. And then the A's, they strung together a couple hits. And then Chapman had that 3-run homer. And I was like, oh, man, hopefully this doesn't turn sour real quick. But no, you know what? He battled with the little bit of adversity. He hung in there. He got back in the saddle, and he was great. He went 6 innings, gave up just that 3-run homer. He looked pretty good. So now I think going forward for the rest of the season, it's going to be interesting to see how the Angels play this, because his next scheduled start, if you want to go like every 5 days, would be Friday. So how many days out of his next start do you let him DH? You don't want to overwork him early in the season. You don't want to exhaust this guy. He is 23 years old. He's probably in phenomenal shape. But still, you want to probably play it easy. So maybe he's the DH for a Monday, Tuesday game. By Wednesday, you shut it down, give him like 2 or 3 days of rest before his next start. It's going to be interesting to see how the Halos play this.
Well, it's treading on waters that haven't been treaded in.
No.
It's really a strange, you can't go back and say, hey, how do we do it with Babe Ruth? Because Babe Ruth played every single day.
Yeah.
He was playing all over the place. A lot's changed. The game has changed. You got to preserve your arm. You got to but you also want to keep that rhythm of hitting the ball, which he's been was a phenomenal hitter in Japan. And from what we've heard from our guy Trent Rush and several other sources, the guy can hit the ball. They've seen him in the cage. They say he's got some great stuff.
So the Shohei Ohtani experiment off and running for the Halos. They're taking on the Tribe tonight. The Big A, the home opener for the Angels. And again, the Dodgers on the road at Arizona, taking on Taijuan Walker, the pride of #Yucktown, as he will lead Arizona tonight. We'll recap that game, both those games, Halos and Dodgers, tomorrow on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back here tonight, again, we're leading up to the Wolverines and the Wildcats, the NCAA National Championship game. We're going to talk more baseball. We got UC Riverside baseball to get to. The Highlanders had their conference opening series over the weekend. They were looking good.
Thundar the Barbarian, my friend.
He's amazing.
He is just right now.
We interviewed him on the Coaches Show, and he's never been the same since. He's been awesome.
Hey, right now he's playing better than almost any college baseball player in the country.
He's amazing.
Yes, he is.
We'll also talk a little CBU baseball as well. And right around the corner after that, some some NFL news and USC football chatter.
What?
We got an exclusive on USC football.
You do?
Exclusive. Nobody else has this.
Wow.
Thanks to world-famous intern Angel.
Awesome.
We'll be right back. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
8, Bob. So that means that when I make a mistake, I have 8 different people coming by to tell me about it.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
And guess what, Bob? Guess who called me on the Fox Sports IE hotline?
Who called you, Bob?
Bob.
Bob!
Bob said, do what you guys got to do because you're going live all the way to the NCAA Tournament Championship game here on Fox Sports IE. We need you guys to take us all the way to 6 o'clock. Bring it home for the Wolverines and the Wildcats. But Bob was on the line, so if we screw up, you know how many people I got to answer to, Bob? Bob and all Bob's friends? Greg Holla? A lot of people to answer to.
Yeah, you're darn right. Hey, we put on, this show just flies by. Just flies by when you're here.
It's because Holla brought us candy. It helps the time go by.
I love chocolate.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We're talking a little baseball action. Dodgers, Halos coming off the weekend, continuing their season tonight. The Dodgers, as we mentioned, in the desert, taking on Arizona and Taiwan Walker from Yucaipa High School. The Halos with their home opener against the Indians. A little bit closer to home, it was UC Riverside taking 2 out of 3 from UC Davis to open up Big West Conference play. And Jeff, we've touched on it several times. If we could just revisit that UC Riverside coaches show when we had Troy Percival on, he said the pitching's been pretty good. The hitting will come around like a sleeping giant. Oh, it's awake, and they're mad.
They are. I'll tell you what, Connor Cannon, Thundar the Barbarian, with his flowing locks and his
big club in his hand.
He looks like Bam Bam of the Flintstones.
Yeah.
Hey, he was the Big West Player of the Week. Just named today.
He's big time. They scored 27 runs in the 3-game series. So if you do the math, and I'll do the math for you, that's 9 runs per game. That's what they averaged in that series against UC Davis. So if you were worried about that UC Riverside offense, oh, it's coming around. Oh, it's here. And they're hitting the baseball.
And one of the youngest teams in the entire Big West. Coach Percival's done a great job of recruiting. A lot of local flavor, a lot of local talent. And they're really starting to hit the ball well. So, Big West, look out, baby.
Yeah, Big West is tough, though. There's so many good teams. Cal State Fullerton, Long Beach State, UC Santa Barbara. I could just keep going down the list, but there's a lot of good baseball. Irvine's really good. These are other teams that are in the hunt for a national championship. So the Big West Conference is tough, but UCR's off to a pretty good start. Got a little bit of, I'd say, some revenge for the basketball team against Davis, right?
Yeah, go up and take care of those guys, those Aggies.
Yeah, so 2 out of 3 from a UC Davis, 27 runs in the 3-game series. So UCR back to their winning ways and starting off conference play. A winner, 2 out of 3 from UC Davis. Meanwhile, Cal Baptist, they split a series with Concordia, 2-2. So out of the 4-game series, they each won 2 games. The Lancers will be back in action against Biola as another 4-game series at home starting on Thursday. Cal Baptist, kind of a slower start for Gary Adcock and the crew. They've got a lot of talent on that team, so I'm not worried about them in the long run. But I think he was probably hoping they'd get off to a quicker start this season, especially in conference play. But don't get me wrong, they're still really good, and the record's still good, and they're ranked in the nation. But a little slower than I think that he would probably want at this point.
Yeah, 18-12 overall, 11-9 in conference. They got a 1-game losing streak, but they're 13-7 at home, 5-5 away. But like you said, they're similar in the sense that UCR, a lot of young guys, a lot of local guys, a lot of guys just kind of getting their groove because the transition. This is their last year. They're going big time after this year as well. They played a really tough schedule early on.
So Cal Baptist and Biola will get together on Thursday. That's a look at local baseball. Best of luck to Cal Baptist University and UC Riverside. We're going to take another quick commercial break because, Jeff, we've got a lot of football to get to. This next segment is going to be real meaty with just like a lot of good football goodness.
I love football.
We're going to talk USC football. We're going to talk about the Los Angeles Chargers.
What?
And also football. You feeling me? Football.
Kickball.
Kickball. I'm sorry. Kickball. What was I thinking?
You don't confuse me now.
If I would have said kickball, you would have got it right off the bat.
Exactly.
We'll be right back. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I think that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and you know, help them reach their athletic potential, you know, help them, you know, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, you know, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, you know, in terms of speed, power, you know, strength, agility.
not have your superior intellect and education. But could it be that once again, you are angry at something else and are looking to take it out on me?
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Can't touch this.
Can't touch this. Were you a Hammer guy, or you just wear the Hammer pants?
No, I liked Hammer because, you know, when I was at Cal,
Yeah.
he was really, really big.
Because he's from Oakland, right?
Yeah,
He's big.
that was when he was big. Going into my freshman year, we were all listening to Hammer Time. Yeah, it was a good album, man. I don't know what happened to him afterwards, but, you know.
I think I don't know. I see him on commercials and stuff, still making some money.
He lost all his money. Remember, he had like an entourage, like 1,000 people. He was paying everybody. He was super, super wealthy and then became super, super poor.
Did he?
And his gold lame pants.
I don't know the MC Hammer story.
Oh, I do, and it's a sad one. He, instead of the crotch hanging down to his knees.
Yeah, I remember those pants.
He had to wear regular pants.
That's how poor he got?
Yeah, that's how poor he got.
Back then, at the clubs over there in North
Oakland?
East Bay.
No, I was a nerd. I never went.
The people. Just the
the
people.
peeps.
The people of
oh,
Oakland.
yeah, the peeps. Yeah.
Lots of big crotches. It had a real big, roomy crotch.
Large crotch, a lot of roomy crotch. I don't like Oakland. I got that milkshake thrown on me. I still hate it.
Oh, that's right. Somebody threw a milkshake at you in Oakland.
That's perfect. I mean, I've never, you couldn't have asked for anything better. I'm walking on the street and some guy yells at me and throws a milkshake on me, and it hits me square in the chest.
Hey, Jeff!
I mean, who would ruin a really good milkshake? But they ruined it on my shirt.
That's the bigger question. They must have felt pretty ill about you if they're going to ruin a milkshake.
They didn't even know me.
I mean, really, as mad as I could get at you or Greg, I'd look at my milkshake and be like, it's not worth it. This is a nice milkshake. I'm not going to throw this.
That was one of those moments in life that I looked in the mirror. Afterwards, you know, I walked into my apartment, I looked in the mirror, and I went, this just isn't right, man. I got a milkshake all over me.
I would love to track that person down and be like, why did you do that?
They were all laughing. It was like a whole car full of people.
They're probably like, hey, look at that big goofy guy. Watch this. And you think, I mean, it wasn't probably malicious like, hey, there's Jeff Gorham.
Oh, no, they didn't know
I'm going to try to take
I
him
was.
out. I want him playing on the basketball team.
No, they just threw a milkshake at me, and I felt like...
You do Michael Jackson to getting a milkshake on you, I mean... You know, take the milkshake.
Yeah, but I'm telling you guys, it was a really low moment in my life. I've had a couple. I had another time I had to pee so bad when I was a little kid. I just had to pee, so I peed. I was little. I was at Knott's Berry Farm. I still
Just went for it.
Yeah,
Go on the log ride. I mean, at least no one would know. Yeah, 2 years ago. Last year.
No, these are moments, though, that really shaped and formed the person I am.
Yeah, I can see now.
I wasn't ever going to mention the one where I peed. That was the worst.
Oh, you just did it live on the air.
Oh, man. Hey, people out there, you guys are my counselor.
You know what I'm going to do?
The psychologist.
You guys are my shrinks.
Therapist.
You're all my therapists.
I don't got to pay.
Next time we go out to eat, I'm going to order a milkshake and be like, hey, Jeff, you want this? I'll give it to you.
Guys, I'm telling you, man. I talk about that, and it was fun. But, man, that was a really traumatizing event. I mean, I got drilled. I mean, it wasn't like he skimmed his shoulder or anything. He was square in my chest.
That was good aim.
It was the perfect shot. It was like winning something at the carnival.
Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Can we go from Hammer time to Helton time?
Oh!
Clay Helton, head football coach for USC. You know, they're in spring ball. The Trojans getting ready for fall camp right around the corner. They got a big spring game coming up and all that nonsense. All the boys, Jeff's milkshake for sure. But our guy, Angelito, world famous intern angel, was at USC spring camp for the Inland Sports Show. And Angelito got a chance to interview Clay Helton.
I think Angel's had some facial work, too, done.
Is he? Is he going big time on us?
Oh, yeah, he's big time. I think he's seeing a plastic surgeon. I saw him the other day. He's doing
real TV-ish.
He's doing neat, the news stuff. His face. He's getting better looking. He wasn't that good looking when he was here.
So he's wearing makeup.
I was going to say, I'm going to get a hold of him and be like, hey, you don't need work done. You can wear makeup.
He's got pancake makeup on a waffle face. Oh, that was mean. He does look really handsome, though. Best I've ever seen him.
That could be a good skit. I've got makeup in my backpack right now. I'll be like, here's how you do it, Angel.
So funny. Yeah, he's big time.
Anyways, Angelito, world-famous intern Angel, interviewed Clay Helton. So, of course, had the presence of mind to ask him about one of our Inland Empire guys.
Yeah.
A true freshman hoping to crack that starting lineup for USC this season. We're talking about Justin Dedich of Chaparral. The Pumas, who's been in this very studio. I'm still waiting for the autograph shirt.
Yeah, he promised us an autograph shirt. He ate a bunch of sushi. And
he'll come through. He'll come through. He's in spring ball. He's kind of busy, but he'll come through.
Not too busy.
So here is Clay Helton, head football coach at USC, talking to Angelito about Justin Dedich of Chaparral. Here's Clay Helton.
You and Coach Callaway seen from Justin Dedich?
To be out here again, a guy that's functioning well with the ball in his hand, to be out here not making a ton of mistakes. You know, Brett went down with a little bit of an ankle today, so we pulled him just to be safe. And you know, he's up there with the first team unit today, and it was like nothing changed. And he just went out there and did his job. So to be a kid that's, you know, not supposed to start until fall doing this and being out here today and functioning, very impressed.
General impressions on the
out there at USC. That's our Justin Dedich.
Eating a lot of sushi.
He's so big.
Giant.
He's just that big, like country thick.
Yeah.
Just a big, thick guy.
Looks like a bad guy in Roadhouse.
Is that what
he looks like a bad guy in all those Roadhouse type
Is that what he
movies.
looked like?
Yeah. You hit him with a 2x4 and break over his neck.
He's that strong.
He's that big and strong.
We're so proud of Justin Dedich. We love that guy. Other football news out of the City of Angels, Los Angeles. Are you excited about this, Jeff? The Chargers have signed Geno Smith to a 1-year contract.
Not bad.
So it's him or Cardell Jones to back up Phillip Rivers. I'm pretty mediocre on both those guys, but I'd probably go Geno Smith over Cardell Jones.
Yeah, you go Geno because Geno has played a lot more, obviously.
Yeah, more starts, more games.
More starts, and different system. You know, I don't know if their starting quarterback was, you know, Rivers will ever. He doesn't get hurt very often. He's one of those durable guys. But no, I think it's a pretty good sign. I think Cardell Jones,
yeah.
I think he could be playing in that the new football league that's starting.
Not the XFL, but the American Football Alliance or whatever.
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, that was pretty good there.
Look at that.
Good memory there.
Holy smokes.
Man, you're like an elephant. But yeah, I would say that might be a little more his take, or he could just be a backup for the rest of his life. Johnny Manziel has to be better than him. Would you say?
It's pretty darn close.
96.
It's close.
There are
It's
96 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Is he not one of the top 96?
He's close. I know that's your case. That's your platform.
Johnny
You're
Manziel.
stomping around for.
He's going to make it.
You know, I know you're a funny guy, Jeff, and you got me on April Fool's because it was Easter. I'm celebrating the Lord, and I've got Easter eggs, and I'm not worried about April Fool's Day. And I know where you're going. I'm going to go there too. But I just want to say, if you got on social media, everyone thought they'd be a funny guy like Jeff who tried to get me with an April Fool's joke, and he did. But people are like, oh, Phillip Rivers retired, or you know the Browns they've signed Odell Beckham Jr. Like all this random, like, dude, come on, it's April Fool's. I don't need your NFL trade jokes and signings. Like I don't need none of that nonsense.
None.
So I stayed off of Instagram. I stayed off of Twitter. I stayed off all of that stuff because everyone was just trying to be funny. And one of them was, oh, did you hear Phillip Rivers retired? Like I don't need this. I'm off. I'm getting out of here. I'm putting my phone down. I'm walking away from it. Going back to Eggy Jesus.
Eggy Jesus. We got to talk about this. Yesterday,
we got a couple minutes.
I'm in Carlsbad overlooking the ocean, hanging out with the family, and I get this text from Pep. Was it a text or was it on one of your...
It was a text.
It was a text. She sent me a text, and it was, you know, like Easter egg hunting, but it was a little like a Weeble-looking egg, but it was...
Jesus.
It was Jesus.
Yeah.
And then I said, wow, that's the greatest thing in the world. I showed my family. Everybody's laughing their butts off.
Full of Milky Way and Twix and Kit Kats.
That sounds great. But yeah, I want to see Eggy Jesus.
I'll bring him.
I want him in the studio to bless the studio.
Oh, he'll overlook us every show.
But then last year you said they had...
Parachuting Jesus.
I would love a parachuting
like a Navy SEAL, like jumping out of a copter, like parachuting to the ground to save everyone, that it was Jesus on a parachute. And then we also had bendable Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah, you can bend him around so you can like be breaking bread or walking on water. And
like Gumby and Pokey.
Yes, like that, like those bendable characters, yes.
Gosh,
so we had egg Jesus, we had bendable Jesus, and we had parachuting Jesus.
That's just the best. That was really the highlight of my day yesterday. It was. I was sitting around going, man, you know what? I need something to make me smile a little bit.
Well, parachuting Jesus and bendable Jesus were really like the hot items at church, so
Yeah.
I didn't get my hands on those, but I do have an egg Jesus, and I'm going to bring it into the studio for you.
I love it. I can't wait. Yeah, I did prank you yesterday, though.
Yeah, funny guy.
Yeah, I said that. How much did I say I won?
I don't know. It was a real random number. So
Yeah,
when
I
I looked
figured.
at it, I'm like, that's kind of a random number.
It was like-
You're like I want $840,000.
I said, yeah, I just won $840,000. I was going to go longer. I was going to see if I could parlay it into today, but I decided I'd just say, hey, it's April 1st, you know.
No, one look at Instagram and Phillip Rivers being traded to the Browns or whatever it said. I'm like, okay, I'm off. I'm out of social media. I'm done. I'm putting my phone down. I'm not coming back. I'm sorry, you guys. All your April Fool's dumb Phillip Rivers jokes not going to work on me. But I did jump on there in time to see one of the most amazing soccer goals of all time. It's your boy, Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
What?
He's played on some of the biggest clubs around the world. He made his LA Galaxy debut, and it sounded a little bit like this.
Tomorrow throwing his body in. It's going to fall for Ibrahimovic. Oh, come on! Come on!
Unbelievable. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I was like, Jeff, you know who he is? And you're like, not really, but you saw the ad in the paper, right?
I saw the ad in the paper. You know, he took out a full-page ad. It was like,
wow.
What did it say? You're welcome? Or something like that?
Yeah, it said, Dear Los Angeles, you're welcome. This is how cocky this guy is. He's a soccer star. I love it, too.
He got that LA.
But I thought you had to play soccer with your shirt on. Why does the guy have no shirt on?
He ripped it off. He's that good.
Oh, that's so.
He backed it up.
Backed it up. You know,
do you still?
Years Beckham's been doing that, so now he's trying to, you know.
He's better than Beckham.
He's trying to.
Greg, do you still have this on? Okay, so he scored that goal, which is an amazing goal if you didn't see it, like from, I don't know, 50 yards out, off the volley. Amazing. Never scored one like that.
No.
Then, Zlatan being Zlatan, Ibrahimovic scored the game winner for the LA Galaxy.
Cole picks it up. Cole's cross. Ibrahimovic! Oh, are you serious?
I get into it, man. The reporters asked him after the game, talk about your Galaxy debut, and he said, Los Angeles wanted Zlatan, so I gave him Zlatan.
I think I
gave it to him, man.
I just pulled my Zlatan. I think I have a really pulled Zlatan.
He is amazing. I know we don't talk a lot of soccer on this show, but it happened just down the road for the LA Galaxy against LAFC, the new expansion team out there. And I know you should be excited. So Zlatan Ibrahimovic, one of the biggest names in the world, but he's here in Major League Soccer. He's here in Los Angeles, and what a way to debut. In fact, there was another Fox Sports show talking about the biggest LA debuts ever. They put Magic Johnson's Laker debut, because he had like 26 points, 5 assists, something like that, as number 1, and Zlatan number 2 all time. In LA City, like the city of LA, the city of angels, debuts Zlatan. Dude, he's a rock star around the world. Huge.
He's got too many tattoos, though.
He's got a lot.
Yeah, way too many. Sorry about you tattooed people out there. I have one.
You do have one.
I do.
No,
you know.
I can't say that I do.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big
Dear Los Angeles.
Really?
People know me.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm very happy for you.
Hey, they wanted Zlatan. I gave them Zlatan.
Oh, come on.
Hey, we're going to take an early break, Jeff, because for one final time, we're going to talk Michigan. We're going to talk Villanova. We're going to give you a prediction. And then we're going to lead you right in to the Wolverines and the Wildcats. Live on Fox Sports IE coming up at 6 o'clock. You're listening to the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Inland Empire sports fans. back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Oh, man. Greg, you threw me a curveball, but in a good way. I wasn't ready for the Stones, man.
I have a Stones real quick. I have a Stones story.
All right, go ahead.
The Stones are they're on tour. They're going to be down in San Diego.
That's right. And aren't they coming to like Huntington Beach or something like that too?
Yeah, well, they're going to have their own tour.
Oh.
And then they're going to be in some part of this beach tour thing that's going on. So the professor reached out to me today and said, hey.
The Pokemon professor?
The Pokemon professor.
He likes the Stones too?
He sent me a text and said, hey, can I represent the Inland Sports Show? And can you get me passes to see this concert? And he sent me a picture. So, yeah, the professor.
He wants to go cover the Stones?
He loves the Stones.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. In about 7 minutes, we will turn things over to the national championship game, Villanova and Michigan. Tip off about 6:20 right here on Fox Sports IE. Jeff, final thoughts on Michigan and Villanova. You know where I stand. I picked Villanova to win the whole thing, but my heart says Michigan because I like Michigan. I love the Wolverines. I love the Fab Five. Big Steve Fisher fan. Just based on all that tradition, I love Michigan.
You know, I'm a huge Michigan fan. I had a chance to see him up close, live and in person. I've seen Villanova play. I think Villanova, they're one of 4 teams in the modern era that has won every game by double digits, which bodes well for Villanova. They have the best player in the country right now. Jalen Brunson is that guard that everybody talks about. He's one of those guys that can really control tempo. He can work it through his bigs. He really, really can dictate a game at any given time. If Villanova can shoot like they did last game with 18 threes, they go on to win. If they don't, they've got to deal with the big fella for Michigan, Mo Wagner. I'll tell you what, he had 26 points, 15 rebounds, and is playing a man possessed. They've got great athletes. They're not as deep as Villanova, but they got Charles Matthews. Remember, he played at Kentucky. He's been in these big game situations. Transferred over to Michigan. He's been a very, very good athlete for them. They've got a very good point guard. And then Duncan Robinson, remember, he was a Division III star last year. He's a 6'8" forward, but comes in and hits three-pointers. He shoots 39% from beyond the arc. He's one of those guys that could be a game changer versus that Villanova team. But I'm going to go with the only guy in the entire world besides you. I'm going Michigan by 1.
Ooh,
to win
close
it
game.
all. Yeah,
low scoring game, right?
No, I think they're going to. I think they're both
70s, 80s.
I'd say high 70s.
Let's do scores. How about that? Let's write this down. What do you think the score is going to be?
Okay, I'm going to go. Are you going to write this down?
I'm writing it down. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. Jeff says
81-80.
Greg, you want to do one?
Why not?
Okay.
81-80. Wolverines.
Because the brackets are over. We all know I won the bracket. I'm really good. Okay, so the brackets are over. So Jeff says 81-80 Michigan.
Yes.
Greg, I'll let you go next.
67 Michigan, 70. I'll go Villanova.
Ooh, Villanova by 3.
67 Villanova. Although I picked Villanova to win the brackets.
You named your dog after a Michigan player. You can't go against him.
My dog's name was Dugan after Dugan Fife.
Yeah.
It was the point guard right after the Fab Five era. Part of the Fab Five era as well. I'm going to go, because I did win the bracket. Did I mention I won the bracket?
You did mention it.
Okay, so I'm going Michigan. I think it's going to be lower scoring. You said 81-80, Jeff?
Yes.
I'm going to say 74-71 Michigan.
Ooh. 3-point the other way.
And I'm saving it. I just saved it. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. I'm sure Greg's probably going to be right. We'll talk about it tomorrow. It's all brought to you by our good friends at Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Come on, guys. It's in the name. You're going to get spoiled. You and your car. You get a mint, you get a flour, and the best oil change in the entire Inland Empire. That's Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods, more than 40 years in the Inland Empire. That doesn't happen by accident. They've been bringing you all of your sporting gear needs and Letterman's jackets, team sales. They do it all. It's Kin Sporting Goods out there in Horsetown, USA, Norco, California. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. You got to ask for him by name, and you also got to follow them on Twitter and Instagram. Stay up on the very latest of all those Boost athletes and the cool classes they got going on out there, including the strength and speed class. The first one is always free. And Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. CatalanoCars.com is the website. You can buy, you can trade, and you can finance all in the same spot. It's so easy. Why go anywhere else? You don't want a headache? No pressure. Go to Catalano Motors off Temescal Canyon Road in Corona. Hey, Jeff, a little bit of breaking news. I'm excited about this. The University of San Diego assistant coach, Scholl, is going to be the head coach. They bumped him up. I know Rick Croy at Cal Baptist, his name was being tossed around as a possible head coach at San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interim coach. He did a great job after turmoil with their coach getting fired. Not a bad hire considering they won 20 games and he was in charge of their recruiting class. Good hire by San Diego.
Yeah, so Rick Croy, hopefully we can keep at Cal Baptist for a long time.
Forever.
He's going to be a hot commodity. Young guy, he looks great, fit, great coach, inspirational, all those things.
Yeah,
but we want him here at CBU.
His name will be mentioned in every big job in the next couple of years because they are D1 now.
So tomorrow we'll talk national championship game, more Dodgers, more Halos. We'll also talk California League baseball as we get you all ready for the 66ers and the Quakes coming up this season. For Greg Holla and Jeff Gorham, I'm Pep Fernandez. This has been the Inland Sports Show. Coming up next, it's the Wolverines and the Wildcats of Villanova right here on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM.
Game's in the refrigerator. The door is closed. The lights out. The eggs are cool. The butter's getting hard, and the Jell-O is jiggling.
Inland Empire sports fans turn to the Inland Sports Show.
So you talk to the radio?
On Fox Sports IE 1350 for breaking news, exclusive interviews, and big-name guests in the IE.